Trucking Company owner in a prime position to take the title. After struggling during the second hook and sandwich, Brandon took home a win at the Enderley pull-off to lock up the 2025 title by 5 points. Coming in second during the season was veteran puller Bill Leischner and his tractor he calls Dirt Slinger. Dylan Owens and Thorne finished third in the points. In fourth was the combo of Jeff and Ricky Rose with Giddy Up. Tommy Owens and his Rambling Rose took fifth. In sixth was Steve Bunnage with Takes a Lickin'. Seventh went to Doug Christensen with Rat Pack 4. In eighth spot, it was Les Corporal and Corporal Punishment. And ninth went to Matt Johnson and his Dirt Slinger 1X. Rounding out the top 10, Brett Berg and the Rink Seed Moneymaker. From the NTPA headquarters in Marion, Ohio, this has been the NTPA Overnight Report. I'm Greg Hunter. Remember, pull hard.
Increase fuel economy up to 7.9% with Hot Shot Secret Gasoline Extreme. The solution to maximize your engine's performance and fuel economy. Whether you're driving a sports car or a daily commuter, Gasoline Extreme is specially formulated with PEA to deep clean. Don't settle for an average driving experience. Upgrade to Hot Shot Secret Gasoline Extreme and go further on each tank. Order now on Amazon or HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
We know being over the road isn't easy, but getting parts for your truck can be. Rainey's offers over 100,000 parts and accessories, from chrome to cab comforts, watermelon lights to necessary replacement parts. It's all available on our website. Got questions? Our team of experts has your back from start to finish with unmatched customer service you won't get anywhere else. Head to Rainey's.com to get $25 off any order over $250 with code DRIVE25 at checkout.
All right, 22 past the hour, I do believe. We had a brief, ever so brief, internet disruption. So, I think it looks like we're back in order. Are we back in order? See if I get the word from Knucklebuster. Are we back in connection there, Knucklebuster?
Absolutely there, Mr. Steve Sommers. I hope we are anyway there. I'm out here in the New Mexico out there. I'm still a couple 100 miles from the hacienda, so, but I'll wave at him when I go by there anyway. I got news for them. They ain't getting my water blasters. I'll get them wet, or I'll hide them all there.
Right.
I got more water blasters than they even know about, so you just never know. Well, I went to Vegas, and I gave them my official 2-week notice this morning, saying 2 weeks, 28, 29, whatever day that is there. That'll be my last day of truck driving.
Is that right? You're actually
you're
gonna do it, huh? You're gonna hang up the key. I know you'd mentioned it once before, but I thought you were kind of betwixt and between. So you think it's time to hang up the keys?
Oh yeah, it's time to go to the house. I can sleep in my own bed at night, cook my own food at the house. I not have to worry about all these crazy idiots out here, the way they drive, and just enjoy life. I got over 3 million miles with this company, so I probably got another couple million with some other companies I drove 15 years prior to coming over here. So it's time for me to just enjoy my life, Stephen, and help my babies and my grandbabies, and that'll be all I want to do. And I got plenty of money, so I ain't got to worry about it. I can make as much money adding my Social Security in, as much money as I do now, just driving truck and my other stuff I got going on. So, I mean, hell, why the hell work?
Well,
you don't
yeah.
have to, right?
If you're in a position where you can financially do it, absolutely. What's the necessity? Sure.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I'm glad to have this one over with. I might pull a Dallas or something. I don't really want to be hanging around the house at Christmas. We're having Christmas with the babies and the grandbabies there on the 20th. That's Saturday, I think. So the rest of the time, I might swing by the houses on Christmas Day. So, and then I got a wedding to go to on the 27th. So he's finally going to break down and marry my daughter there. They've been living together. They might as well get married. And that'll be the second go around for both of them.
Yeah.
The other daughter, she's already been married twice. So, he's a smart dude. So, he got a lot more patience than what I got. So, what was the? I meant to ask. Did they ever extend that on the DOT physical thing? Is it still in? You ain't got to have it done by within 24 hours.
No, they keep extending that. I had just last week, again, all the states aren't on board. They're not getting it right. So, I mean, they're telling them to keep allowing you to keep that paper copy of it.
All right. Well, I might go get my physical when I get in Thursday morning and just keep, my license doesn't expire till 26. So, but you never know. I might change my mind. I'm worse than a damn woman about changing my mind there, right?
I hear you. You wouldn't be the first, Knuckle Buster. Over the years, how many have we heard that said, I'm hanging up the keys, and then 6 months later, they're back out there again? Yeah, hell, Big Ed, he hung up the keys a couple of years ago. Then he went back out, but he got rehitched. I think he's officially done now. But
oh, yeah, well. That's the way it needs to be. So I'm gonna try my best at it. My daughters have both told me they had enough work to keep me busy forever. So I don't know what their plans are, but one daughter, she got it right on the head of the nail there. The biggest problem would be getting me up out of that recliner to actually get up and go do it there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've had a good show going on. Well, it's almost break time for you. I better get quiet. Let you get your break.
All right, we got a news break coming up. You are correct. Knuckle Buster, feel free to check back in during that loneliest hour. All right, for those we had hanging in there, back up and running, I do believe. 844-844-3388 is the number to dial us up. Obviously, it wasn't Plowboy that lost his connection. It was the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. Hey, we'll be back after this.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. One of the people killed in the terrorist attack in Sydney, Australia, has a connection with the state of California.
The man was the brother of the co-director of Shabbat of Bakersfield, Rabbi Shmuley Schlanger. Rabbi Eli Schlanger was among at least 15 people who were killed in the mass shooting at Bondi Beach on Sunday. Before he was shot, Schlanger was preparing for a menorah lighting ceremony to celebrate the start of Hanukkah. Australian authorities say the shooters were a father and son, one of whom was killed. I'm Daniel Martindale.
New York City Mayor-elect Zoran Mandani condemned the terror attack on an Australian Hanukkah celebration that occurred on Sunday.
At least 16 people were killed on a popular Sydney beach by two gunmen, with dozens of others left wounded. Mamdani said he mourns the victims and promised he would keep Jewish New Yorkers safe. Mamdani, a Muslim, has had strained relations with some members of the Jewish community during his campaign over his criticism of the Israeli government. John Sommers, USA Radio News.
From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care, and here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join Medi-Share and save even more than usual. For many families, joining Medi-Share means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. More than 1 million people are part of healthcare sharing now because it just makes so much sense right now. And Medi-Share is the gold standard. Members like it a lot. We know this from member surveys. Medi-Share has been around for over 30 years. It is a proven thing. And if you join before December 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save $100 right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline's December 15th. Call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. It's 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40.
Did you miss an episode of the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive? Or just want to relive a little bit of the magic? Don't worry. You can download the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a single second of the show that was recently named one of the best late night shows in America. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive so you don't miss a single episode. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. Available wherever you get your podcasts or online at overnightdriveradio.com. Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
Fuel additives.
most fuel additives either impact performance or provide protection. Hot Shot Secret Everyday Diesel Treatment provides both performance enhancement and fuel system protection. Everyday Diesel Treatment delivers a 6-in-1 premium fuel treatment for every fill-up, every time.
Everyday diesel treatment is available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at hotshotsecret.com.
We know being over the road isn't easy, but getting parts for your truck can be. Rainey's offers over 100,000 parts and accessories, from chrome to cab comforts, watermelon lights to necessary replacement parts. It's all available on our website. Got questions? Our team of experts has your back from start to finish with unmatched customer service you won't get anywhere else. Head to Rainey's.com to get $25 off any order over $250 with code DRIVE25 at checkout. Have you been searching far and wide, looking to advertise your business on a brand that will help you reach the very clients you want to walk through your front door? Well, you know they've done studies that 100% of the time, it works every time. We're talking about the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. Let us go to work for your business. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive currently broadcasts in radio markets all over the United States and was recently named one of the top 50 best late night shows and podcasts in America. Advertising on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive will maximize your ability to reach clients both on the air and through podcasting. Consider it the best of both worlds. Don't miss this chance to put your business on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive and expand your reach immediately. Before we go, I've got one question to ask you. Are you ready to get started? If so, email me, Ryan Wild at lubricationspecialties.com, and get started showing off your business today on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
The Overnight Drive with Steve Sommers. Live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios. Call Steve now. 844-844-3388. That's 844-844-3388.
I know Gilligan's out there getting his week started somewhere under the moonlit skies. Ain't a whole lot of moon left, though, is there? Here's the Speedway there, Martinsville. Gary Montgomery on board. Morning, Steve, and all the overnight crew. And clear lines at 844-844-3388. So, some industry headlines. Yeah, we've seen enforcement efforts taking place numerous states around the country. One of the latest, an update from the Arkansas Highway Patrol releasing results from a commercial vehicle inspection and enforcement effort that took place at the I-30 way station last week. A 3-day operation, Benton, Arkansas. They say they were focused on several key areas during the way station detail. Obviously, driver logs and hours of service compliance, CDL verification, English language proficiency requirements, and ACT 604 documentation for out-of-country drivers. Results of the 3-day operation: 107 commercial vehicle inspections, 78 violations uncovered, 30 drivers placed out of service for CDL violations, hours of service violations, and numerous other driver qualification violations. Now, they said our main focus during this 3-day enforcement was getting unsafe drivers off the highways in the state of Arkansas and ensuring that all motorists traveling through the state can get where they need to safely. And they say they're not done. We are looking forward to continuing this initiative. So more and more states getting on board with the English language proficiency enforcement there after all these years. All right, new year just around the corner. I mentioned at the onset some changes that will be taking place, new laws that typically take effect either on January 1 and sometimes July 1. But truck drivers traveling through Oregon may notice some changes in the Beaver State next year, including higher fines and the elimination of a program there. So one is going to be good as far as getting the bad guys off the road. The other is going to affect the good drivers in a negative way. What are those changes affecting those who haul the household goods? Those who fail to comply with the Oregon DOT's Commerce and Compliance Division regulations will be forking over more cash. Right now, Oregon law requires household good movers to acquire a certificate. The fine for operating without a certificate, currently $1,000. Effective January 1, that fine increases threefold to $3,000. The new law makes it easier for the DOT to penalize the bad actors out there. The Commerce and Compliance Division hasn't always been successful in proving that an uncertified carrier was operating to haul household goods. Senate Bill 839 took care of that by expanding the scope of who can be fined to anyone who advertises or offers the transport of household goods. That also includes moving companies that transport via for-hire truck drivers. That certification process involves background checks and adherence to approved rates and procedures to protect the people of the state from deceitful, unsafe practices like charging too much, damaging items, stealing belongings. It's been a common complaint around the country for years with some of these household good movers. They'll give you a price. Hey, we'll move that for $2,000. Come out, pack all your stuff, load the truck, and next thing you know, hey, ring-a-ling, we've had some issues here. It's going to be $3,500 to get your goods. You say, well, I don't have $3,500. Well, we cannot give you your goods until you pay this. And then we're going to start charging you $100 a day storage, right? And the numbers go up, and away. Now, according to the commissioner, we recommend checking our website before you hire a moving company to make sure that company is DOT certified in Oregon. So that first change, that's bad news for the bad actors. The second change is bad news for the good truck drivers. Going in effect on January 1 will be the discontinuation of the Oregon DOT's Trusted Partner Program. That's a program that rewards you, carriers that display commitment to excellence based on operational history. Certain carriers that use the Pre-Clearance Way Station Bypass Program and have a clean record are eligible Those who qualify for the Trusted Partner Program actually receive a special plate and additional benefits, including weigh station pre-clearance privileges, waiver of bond requirement. You're only subject to probable cause safety inspections. Only subject to probable cause compliance reviews. You get inclusion into the Trusted Carrier Partner roster. That program, apparently, they say is being completely discontinued due to budget restrictions, budget reductions. All right. On to the state of Pennsylvania. Going after drivers that continue to push their luck. After years of accidents on restricted roadways, one Pennsylvania lawmaker says it's time to crack down on the rule-breaking truck drivers out there. Representative Eddie Pashinsky of Wilkes-Barre introduced a bill that he says would help the entire state, but it focuses on one major trouble spot. The problem area is a 1-mile stretch in Luzerne County between Interstates 81 and 476. That section runs along Laurel Run Road to Pine Run Road in the Wilkes-Barre area. He said the road is so dangerous it actually has the nickname Giant's Despair, known for its sharp twists and turns. He said over 3 years' time, 43 separate crashes happening there. Trucks have overturned, blocked the road for hours, sometimes losing their brakes. Innocent lives have been lost because commercially licensed drivers choose to ignore the clearly posted restrictions prohibiting vehicles over 10.5 tons. Just last year, PennDOT added safety improvements to the area, warning signs, flashing lights, chimes to alert drivers when their vehicles are too heavy or too tall. But he said crashes continue to happen despite our efforts to improve safety. House Bill 2073, his new bill, would raise penalties for truck drivers who ignore the traffic restrictions anywhere in the state. First-time offenders face a $1,000 fine. Repeat offenders, a $5,000 fine. A third violation could lead to a lifetime ban from driving a truck. Now we're getting serious. Now, employers of CDL holders who break the rules could also be fined up to $5,000. CDL holders who are also their own employer would only receive only one fine. That would be like for an owner-operator there. This is not just Luzerne County's issue. Every community across the Commonwealth has a roadway, a bridge, an underpass where drivers decide those restrictions don't apply to me. Time to get serious about the consequences for these actions. Now, House Bill 2073, right now it's in the Transportation Committee. That one has not been scheduled for consideration just yet. Then you've got noise pollution. A different bill in the Transportation Committee focuses on what one lawmaker calls a growing health concern. House Bill 2069, the bill would let local governments install noise camera systems at certain intersections. PennDOT, they say, would allow cities, counties, and townships to set up these systems to monitor vehicle noise levels, which are already regulated under state law, but truck drivers, sounds more like a Jake break kind of thing. Truck drivers and others who exceed the noise limits would face a $100 fine under that legislation. Looking at 16 before the hour, 844-844-3388 to dial us up here on a Tuesday morning.
Have you been searching far and wide, looking to advertise your business on a brand that will help you reach the very clients you want to walk through your front door? Well, you know they've done studies that 100% of the time, it works every time. We're talking about the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. Let us go to work for your business. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive currently broadcasts in radio markets all over the United States and was recently named one of the top 50 best late-night shows and podcasts in America. Advertising on the Steve Summers Overnight Drive will maximize your ability to reach clients both on the air and through podcasting. Consider it the best of both worlds. Don't miss this chance to put your business on the Steve Summers Overnight Drive and expand your reach immediately. Before we go, I've got one question to ask you. Are you ready to get started? If so, email me, Ryan Wild at lubricationspecialties.com, and get started showing off your business today on the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
TEL's Independent Owner-Operator Program gives you the power to operate under your own authority or choose the carrier you want to run for. Drive a new truck with full factory warranties, solo or team. TEL has a lease that fits your business. Call us at 866-404-6289 or visit tel360.com and use promo code OVERNIGHT100.
Winter is here. When the temperature drops, so does your truck's performance. Avoid fuel gelling by using Hot Shot Secret's EDT Plus Winter Defense, a 7-in-1 fuel booster and anti-gel that improves cold weather performance. The 7-point cetane boost decreases DPF regens and increases fuel economy. Be confident that your engine is running smoothly and trouble-free, even in the coldest temperatures. Hot Shot Secret EDT Plus Winter Defense, available at Pilot Flying J, Amazon, O'Reilly Auto Parts, and HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today. Did you miss an episode of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive? Or just want to relive a little bit of the magic? Don't worry. You can download the Steve Summers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a single second of the show that was recently named one of the best late-night shows in America. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive so you don't miss a single episode. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive, available wherever you get your podcasts or online at overnightdriveradio.com.
Meanwhile, authorities this past day stating that they have thwarted a potential New Year's terror attack here in the U.S. According to the report, a leftist extremist group was building bombs and choosing their targets for New Year's Eve terror attacks in Los Angeles. Federal officials say we have foiled those plans. 4 alleged members of that offshoot of a group called Turtle Island Liberation Front. I've never heard of them. Arrested after federal officials disrupted the credible terrorist threat that involved improvised explosive devices. In a social media post early this past day, FBI Director Kash Patel detailed the case to us. He said the subjects self-identified as members of a radical offshoot of the Turtle Island Liberation Front, an extremist group motivated by pro-Palestinian, anti-law enforcement, and anti-government ideology, were planning coordinated IED bombing attacks on New Year's Eve, targeting 5 separate locations across Los Angeles. In the days since, the FBI in New Orleans has arrested an individual, a 5th individual believed to be linked to this group, who was also allegedly planning a separate violent attack. Now, the 4 subjects charged with conspiracy and possession of a destructive device, Attorney General Pam Bondi also addressed the plot, stating that this group also planned to target ICE agents and vehicles. This was an incredible effort by the Attorney's Office and the FBI to ensure Americans can live in peace. We will continue to pursue these terror groups, bringing them to justice. Now, on what appears the group's Instagram page, this TILF group states, quote, liberation through decolonization and tribal sovereignty. There's a photo showing a woman holding a sign reading, death to ICE. According to Fox News, Turtle Island is an indigenous name referring to North America. Video footage shows the leftists claiming the original tribes on the Americas called it by that name because of a map of America looked like a turtle. She then claimed that Native Americans called it Turtle Island, saying it was America's decolonized name. Apparently, this group, Turtle Island Liberation Front, is looking for reparations and land back for these indigenous groups in which the land was observed. Their Facebook page said the group is up against fascist colonizers. There are no morals for us to appeal to, no sense of justice or what's right. We cannot vote ourselves out of a mass colonizer occupation. The only way out is resistance. Stop marching parades. Fight back. Freeing the world from American imperialism is the only way to a safe, peaceful future. So this is obviously a far left, whacked out group, pro-Palestinian, anti-American, anti-ICE, anti-government. Thank goodness they were able to thwart them. And who knows how many others like them may exist here in this country. I'm sure there's more. Well, Senor Heatwave, getting the new week underway, I presume?
Oh, si, senor. Good morning. Oh, Lordy, I tell you what. This was an eventful weekend. Unfortunately, the dark news of the weekend is the one that's taking control of the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Australia's already got some pretty stringent gun laws.
Yes.
And they want to go ahead and make them even tighter. I mean, what the hell more can they do? They've already got a gun registry, if you can even get one, and then, what are you going to use it for? Oh, hunting, I guess, would probably be the number one answer. I don't guess self-defense would be on there anywhere, because if they said that, then they probably wouldn't get a gun.
Nope.
Because, you might use it against somebody. Well, I don't know. And the father and son duo that was doing this, did they have any background on these people?
Best I had seen, they had pledged allegiance to ISIS before the attack. Surprise.
Who would have thunk it? Oh, well. Well, kudos to the guy that went out there and physically pulled that gun away.
Yeah,
I guess
that was amazing.
I mean, and someone was making mention about it on Facebook, like, imagine that, an unarmed individual. Well, that's just the way the laws over there are, And, it only takes one brave person, or probably someone who's scared out of their mind, to do a heroic act like that to save people. And, so, I mean, hey, I guess he was a Syrian immigrant. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
That had lived there and had a fruit stand. So I guess what he said was he was selling fruits to the to the Jewish community down there for their lighting of the menorah, and he said, hell, if he was down there in those tents, he'd be one of the dead right now. So, yeah, it's good people have to get up and do something to keep the other people safe, especially in situations like that. Now he did get shot by the man's son. Is that correct? Like in the arm and the hand or something like that?
Yeah, the guy that disarmed the bad guy, he did, yes, he got shot. I guess he's recovering. He's had surgery. Yeah, the one gunman that was killed, I'm not sure who actually killed him, though.
Well, you know, from what I had seen on it seemed like the guy that wrestled the gun away from him shot him. Because you see him falling down a couple of times. You know, after he had his gun taken away, he trying to get away, and then looks like he fell down twice in the same spot before he eventually got up. But then something was thrown at him. I don't know what it was, but oh well.
Yeah, and then I saw, and then the guy kind of he places the gun up against the tree and kind of puts his hands up, like, I guess trying to let law enforcement know, hey, I'm not the bad guy,
Yeah. Then he winds up getting shot. Well, and then we have did we have 2 National Guard members or 3 get killed in Syria over the weekend as well?
Correct. Yes.
Good. All right.
2 Guard members,
I guess
2 military, and an interpreter that was working with them there.
Well, I mean, I saw where Pete Hegseth was like, you know what, we're coming after you.
Yep.
And Trump's like, hey, you play stupid games, you win the stupid prize. And
what was it? The president said there's going to be big-time damage due to that attack. I haven't seen where anything's occurred as of yet. Hey, we had a pause there. We close out another hour. Hang in there. We'll get back with Senor Heatwave and others online as we roll into a brand new day. Thanks for being with us. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
Did you miss an episode of the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive? Or just want to relive a little bit of the magic? Don't worry. You can download the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a single second of the show that was recently named one of the best late-night shows in America. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive so you don't miss a single episode. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. Available wherever you get your podcasts or online at overnightdriveradio.com.
Truckers, meet the SpeedMax Pro Max, the tire built for serious hauls and serious peace of mind. With rugged construction and performance you can count on, Pro Max is made for the long road ahead. And here's the best part. It comes with an 8-year warranty. That's right, 8 years of confidence, mile after mile. Ask SpeedMax. Drive far. Drive strong. For more info, call 860-436-4100 or buy online at digitire.com. Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
Like the men and women who power America, the people at Hot Shot Secret work hard and play harder. We're the fastest growing diesel and oil additive brand in the country. We solve problems. We protect engines. We save you money. And more importantly, time. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. Rhode Island officials are working around the clock to catch the gunman who killed 2 students and injured 9 others at Brown University on Saturday. Providence Mayor Brett Smiley says multiple agencies are on the case.
This community will heal from this. We will move forward. But that doesn't make light of, and I'm certainly not making light of, the fear and anxiety that persists. But the only way we're going to move forward through it is one step at a time, and today's one of those steps.
Police released a new video showing the masked suspect in black walking away, while a previously detained person of interest has been released. President Trump is doubling down on blaming the deaths of director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle on Trump derangement syndrome. Trump cited his Truth Social post, calling Reiner a tortured and struggling filmmaker whose anger towards him, Trump says, contributed to his death.
I think he hurt himself in career-wise. So he became like a deranged person, Trump derangement syndrome. So I was not a fan of Rob Reiner at all in any way, shape, or form. I thought he was bad for our country.
He described Reiner's opposition as a mind-crippling disease and said it drove people crazy over his presidency. House Republicans unveiled a new health care bill they hope to bring to a vote this week.
The proposed legislation contains cost-sharing reductions and reforms to pharmacy benefits, but does not include extension of the enhanced Obamacare subsidies set to expire in about 3 weeks. Speaker Mike Johnson promised the bill would be a great piece of legislation that everybody will unite around. John Sommers, USA Radio News.
Ahmed Al-Ahmed, an Australian immigrant, is being hailed as a hero for wrestling a gun from a shooter during Sunday's deadly anti-Semitic attacks in Sydney that killed 15. Wounded in the act, Al-Ahmed said he would do it again to protect the community. Officials, including Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, called the attack pure evil and targeted at Jews on Hanukkah, sparking renewed calls for increased security. From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
Business owners, are you paying high phone bills for old-school systems and lousy service? StrongTel cuts your phone bills in half and turns every phone you own into a feature-rich business system. Sean Roddy, CEO of Hennings Brothers Drilling, had this to say: "We've been a StrongTel customer for over 10 years. It's great, and even includes an intercom with video to our equipment yard. I can watch live from anywhere with my smartphone. I'd recommend StrongTel to anyone. Never miss a customer call again with your StrongTel business system. StrongTel is a proud iTex partner and always welcomes your iTex dollars. You'll get award-winning StrongTel service, a business-class phone system, and cut your phone bill in half. Visit strongtel.com. That's StrongTel, StrongTel.com. StrongTel.
Hunter Biden has been disbarred in the state of Connecticut following complaints tied to his gun and tax convictions. He agreed to the disbarment and admitted to attorney misconduct. Biden was previously pardoned by his father, but had his D.C. law license revoked back in May. Authorities say a member of the New Year's Eve terror plot in Los Angeles has been arrested in New Iberia, Louisiana. Assistant U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley called the suspect a considerable threat.
He threatened the agents, and so that's why he's under arrest.
The FBI confirmed that arrest on Saturday, marking the second terror-related capture near Lafayette in just over 2 months. President Trump said his administration is reviewing whether Israel violated the Gaza ceasefire by killing senior Hamas official Saad Ra'ad over the weekend. Israel says the strike was in response to Hamas planning attacks. Trump also confirmed the Gaza Stabilization Force is operational, with more nations expected to contribute troops. New data from the CDC shows the updated COVID vaccination is effective in reducing the severity of the illness in children.
The study of nearly 100,000 emergency room visits found that vaccinated kids were less likely to get seriously sick. The vaccine reduced the risk of needing emergency care by 76% for children aged 9 months to 4 years old and 56% for children and teens aged 5 to 17. While the vaccine may not prevent every case of COVID, it significantly lowered the risk of severe illness, according to the CDC. I'm Katie Gray.
And I'm Anthony Lucero, USA Radio News.
iLocal.net is offering a free website analysis to improve the online presence of your business. Business owners across the U.S. turn to iLocal.net to improve their search engine rankings. Search engines are constantly changing their algorithms. You need the professionals who know how to use those changes to benefit your business. Don't hope for new customers. Get found and be chosen. Visit iLocal.net/go for your free website analysis. iLocal.net/go.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme.
Today's ultra-low sulfur fuels leave injector deposits causing frequent DPF regens and low throttle response. Diesel Extreme is a once every 6-month treatment that will clean your entire fuel system, including the tank, lines, pump, and the injectors.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, fine farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com.
Because Channel 19's a little congested. Call Steve now at 844-844-3388. The Overnight Drive.
All righty, as we get another hour underway. Good to have you on board. Hope your week's off to a good start. 844-844-3388. Yeah, sometimes it's better to just keep your mouth shut. You ever hear mom or dad tell you that? If you don't have something good to say, don't say anything at all. Just why, Mr. President? Did you feel it was necessary to try to associate Trump derangement syndrome with Rob Reiner's death? See, fact of the matter, yeah, Rob Reiner had Trump derangement syndrome, but that's not what he died from. He died from a mentally sick son who's been battling addiction and mental illness for years. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, TDS had nothing to do with his death. Why should we even have to address that? Nonetheless, yeah, the details, what everybody kind of had suspected, the son is in jail, Nick. Yeah, they've put out the timeline of how things all kind of unfolded. Apparently the family, yeah, Rob, his wife, and Nick were all at a big Christmas party there in L.A. over the weekend. Was it Conan O'Brien's big Christmas party there? They got into a very heated argument there on Saturday evening. Rob and Nick at that holiday party. Nick was acting strangely, they said. Which... yeah, apparently, yeah, Rob and the wife, so mom and dad left the party. They don't know if Nick left at the time or not. But some of the people at the party, one source said, Michelle, the mom, had been anguishing to friends over the last several months that she and Rob were at wit's end over Nick's mental illness and his substance abuse issues, which he had been battling for many, many years. I mean, by the age of 18, he had been cycled in and out of various treatment facilities, homelessness, continuing to relapse over and over again. There was a period there back in 2015 when Rob and Nick worked together on a film, which was almost kind of like an autobiography of Nick's life, dealing with the addiction. The film is called Being Charlie. So, obviously, following the argument Sunday, 3:40 or 3:38 in the afternoon, firefighters responding to a call. The deceased were initially identified only as a man and a woman, ages 78 and 68, which coincided with Rob and Michelle. Senior law enforcement officials by 7:30 confirmed that the victims had been stabbed to death. Some reports are saying their throats had been slit. By 9 p.m., the Reiner family confirmed that it was indeed Rob and his wife, Michelle. Sources said the couple's daughter was the one who actually found them dead inside the home. 9:15 p.m., sources said that the LAPD was able to find Nick and take him into custody near the University of Southern California as a suspect in the double murder. He was not at home when his parents were found dead. Obviously, he had left sometime after the stabbings. By 5 a.m. this past morning, right about the time we were wrapping up the program here, Nick was booked on murder charges. He's in custody without bail. He's actually, according to reports, on suicide watch right now. During an unrelated press conference this past morning, the police chief mentioned Nick's arrest and stated he was the suspect, relatively tight-lipped, to protect the investigation. But he did say we have robbery, homicide division handling this. They worked through the night and were able to take Nick into custody. So looks like it's going to be presented to the district attorney's office sometime today here on Tuesday. But that's where things stand. Welcome back, Senor Heatwave.
Yeah, thank you, Senor, for holding me over. Yeah, my next question was going to be how many people have put all this stuff that happened internationally and domestically as Trump's fault. I'm sure someone's going to say if it weren't for Trump, this wouldn't have happened. Right. And I agree. I don't think President Trump should have said anything. You know, personally, he may have been a good director. Yeah. And he played the liberal part really well in All in the Family. But as far as, you know, his public life, as far as what he preached and supported, I didn't care for.
No.
So,
yep.
I mean, that's a hell of a way to go, especially by your own offspring.
And you can go back and watch interview after interview, and even in like the last year or so, he really went off on the TDS when Trump got reelected.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, I don't know how to express. I'm not upset that he's gone, but the way that he did go is very ugly, and it is very sad, especially when your own offspring does that to you. And with as much money as they had, you would have thought that they could have at least had him recommitted to one of these places to try to get better. I mean, they're always advertising, you know.
If you go back
and for them, money.
I actually went this past morning. I went back and watched. They actually, Rob and Nick sat down did an interview after they worked together to make that film, which essentially was about Nick's life. And watching some of the film, it shows how they tried and tried and tried to get him into treatment, and he would get in and come out, and just. Yeah, they did everything they could possibly do, but at the same time, they were trying to do the tough love thing. They wouldn't give him money because they knew he was going to go put it into drugs, you know. They wouldn't enable him. So I think they tried as best they could, but I guess the drug, what is he, 32 now, 35, whatever. So he's been battling decades he's been dealing with this.
Well, you know, and I don't know. Do states still have mental institutions where people can be committed to a state hospital for, or did the ACLU do away with all them, saying it's a person's right to be crazy? I mean, situations like this calls for extraordinary measures, and if the rehab facilities did not work, then it should have been up to the courts to say, you know what, we need to put you someplace where you can get some serious help 24/7. So, I mean, right now, well, hell yeah, he's going to be on suicide watch because you know, he knows he's screwed up. Well, let's get off of that and get something else. Well, the LA Bowl has played its last game after 6 years of existence, and the Mountain West champions, Boise State, got spanked by Washington. If Boise State was supposed to be the cream of the crop of the Mountain West, I may be hedging my bets on the Minnesota-New Mexico game that's going to happen on the 27th of this month. But, I still have a pretty good feeling New Mexico, if they don't win, it may be a setback. But then again, looking at the conference, the Mountain West was a pretty weak conference. And now with a lot of the teams from the Mountain West going to the new Pac-12 or whatever they're going to call it, the Mountain West is really drawing the bottom of the barrels from other conferences out there just to stay afloat. UTEP, University of Texas El Paso, is going to be brought into the mix. I don't know if New Mexico State would be even thought about being put in the mix there, but I mean, they're not really looking at very strong teams from other conferences to stay afloat. Maybe in basketball, they may have a shot at being the power conference, but not at football. That's for sure. But I'm still looking forward to the game, and I'm looking forward to A&M and Miami being played in Kyle Field there in College Station. I'm sure those tickets are well above what I could even think to afford. But it would have been nice to win the lottery and perhaps get a ticket to go watch the game. Tell you what, I was at the Chevy dealership earlier this morning, yesterday morning, getting my Tahoe worked on. And the only cars that Chevrolet has are the Corvettes. The cheapest one that they had in the showroom was $103,000. And that got the best fuel economy. 16 on the highway and 21 in the city. It's like, whoa. And that had a 6.2 liter turbo. But the other two, hell, they were worth more than my house. My house is valued at $350,000. It's like, good night. So with the upcoming NASCAR coming up, what is Chevrolet going to do? Are they going to just not have a car in until they decide they're going to build one? Or is Cadillac going to come in and put a car in there that they can race? I mean, this is pretty sad. Everybody's going away from the car. Everyone wants an SUV or a crossover or a pickup. So this is really going to be an interesting season here coming up. Y'all got any ideas what Chevrolet is going to put on the track? And I'll let you go so you can get to everyone else out there.
All righty.
Have yourself a good morning.
A quick search says for the 2026 Cup season, GM will continue with an updated version of the Camaro ZL1. Featuring aerodynamic tweaks like a bigger hood dome and a new grille to keep it competitive and align with street-legal performance packages despite the Camaro's production ending. As NASCAR allows manufacturer-specific bodies. That's what it says. So the ZL1 debuting in the 26th season. Better aerodynamics. A revised grille, more prominent rocker panels mirroring. This update addresses the need for a modern look and improved performance as Ford and Toyota updated their cars for 2024, keeping Chevy in the mix. Now, it says NASCAR allows manufacturers to develop unique bodies for their Cup Series cars, ensuring brand identity while maintaining competitive balance, as it says. All right, Scrap Dard, got you coming up here in 2 the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
Have you been searching far and wide, looking to advertise your business on a brand that will help you reach the very clients you want to walk through your front door? Well, you know they've done studies that 100% of the time, it works every time. We're talking about the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. Let us go to work for your business. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive currently broadcasts in radio markets all over the United States and was recently named one of the top 50 best late-night shows and podcasts in America. Advertising on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive will maximize your ability to reach clients both on the air and through podcasting. Consider it the best of both worlds. Don't miss this chance to put your business on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive and expand your reach immediately. Before we go, I've got one question to ask you. Are you ready to get started? If so, email me, Ryan Wild at lubricationspecialties.com, and get started showing off your business today on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
It's no secret, today's diesel isn't as good as it should be. Diesel lacks lubricity. That can lead to fuel system failure, costing thousands in repairs. But you can prevent those issues with Hot Shot Secret products. Clean injectors boost cetane, increase fuel economy while adding 4 times more lubricity than the leading competitor. Claims proven by real-world use and confirmed by third-party ASTM testing. Available nationwide at truck stops, farm and automotive stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
At TEL, we know what it takes to succeed as an owner-operator because we were founded by one. The big secret? Affordable new trucks. New equipment keeps you moving, improves cash flow, and delivers reliability. For over 20 years, we've helped drivers take the next step in their careers. Call TEL at 866-404-6289 and use promo code OVERNIGHT100. We look forward to meeting you.
Back at it here. What do you say, Scrapyard? How we doing?
It's a going, but it went without me. You know, I'm glad y'all shut the refrigerator door because you about froze us out last night down here in Arkansas.
Right.
And it got, whew, boy, how did it get cold. I saw a possum going across the parking lot of the Love's truck stop up there, and it was wearing a parka. It was so damn cold. But, and my hat's off to the Arkansas DOT, State Police, Highway Patrol, and all that for that 72-hour roundup that they had down there. Benton is my hometown down there on I-30, and they flat got with it and really cleaned it up pretty good. So my hat's off to them and all that for doing what they did. And on that Australian incident over at Bondi Beach, that fellow Ahmed Al-Ahmed that tackled, I guess it was his son, and the father shot him and all that. Well, the cops, when they run up there and was throwing the cuffs on that fella, some big burly Australian dude in work boots ran up there and tore his shirt off, I guess, like Hulkamania style, and screamed out, "You bastards," and stomped that guy's head into the concrete. Apparently split it like a melon.
Really?
I heard it from other sources on YouTube and Facebook and all. They wouldn't show the video for obvious reasons, but apparently split that guy's head like a watermelon. When he's old boy in work boots apparently was a big old burly feller and stomped his head till it smashed.
Well, like I said, I didn't think the guy that wrestled the gun away from him actually shot him. I know he was, you could tell he was pointing the gun at him, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, he held him at gunpoint. The father apparently shot him from off at a tangent angle, shot him in the arm and in the hand from everything that I've heard so far. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the one that he had down at gunpoint apparently got his head stomped off.
Wow.
While the cops was trying to cuff him, he was fighting the cops, and somebody ran up there and
business
made it awful flat. So there's that and all that. But yeah,
been an interesting few days, and everybody with their thoughts and prayers and all that about getting Miss Patty's truck up and running. Finally did it. Cost a little, right around $900 and all that. Reprogramming, new throttle body, foot pedal controller, and a few other sensors and all that. But we got her lined out, and she's running like a hot damn. So
that's good.
And all that. Just now, just need help with my little old car and all that. I went off a month or so ago. This is right before deer season started here. A disaster relief in the area, and my car got flooded. Water got inside the cab through the down below the windshield, that drain right in there. During the like 8 inches of rain, and my car got flooded, and it fried some computers and messed up the wiring. So I may be walking either that, unless I can find me another vehicle or somebody knows what the hell they're doing, because it's got me baffled.
Wow.
The car won't even shut off. I have to pull the battery and then bump the starter to get it to cut off. And so doing the best I can with what I have. So I figured I'd call and check in on y'all and let you know I'm still a-kicking.
Good to hear from you, Scrapyard. Thanks for the update. Good luck on the little car there, right? Always something with automobiles, isn't it? Meanwhile, reports of a JetBlue plane just avoiding a midair collision with a U.S. Air Force jet near Venezuela, apparently back on Friday. An incident that the pilot is describing as outrageous. JetBlue Flight 1112, an Airbus A320, en route to New York from the Caribbean nation of Curacao, was roughly 20 minutes into their flight when it encountered a U.S. Air Force tanker north of Curacao. That tanker reportedly flew directly into JetBlue's flight path, prompting the passenger plane to take evasive action to maintain separation with the tanker aircraft, according to the recording captured by Live ATC Net. The JetBlue pilot called this outrageous, noting the military aircraft did not have an operating transponder that allows air traffic control to track an aircraft accurately. Without it, an aircraft cannot be detected on radar. They pass directly in our flight path, he says. They don't have their transponder turned on. Pilot identified it as a military jet, said it crossed their path roughly 2 to 3 miles away. And I guess in air travel, that is a too close for comfort call. It was an air-to-air refueler from the U.S. Air Force, and he was at our altitude, according to the pilot. We had to stop our climb and actually descend to avoid hitting him. Air traffic control confirmed the recording. They did not see anything on their radar. Okay, the controller said, yes, I don't have anything on my scope. You're right, sir. The pilot reported that the Air Force jet then entered Venezuelan airspace. Of course, all this, as we know, the U.S. has a large-scale military buildup in the southern Caribbean. President Trump citing that he's looking to oust the Venezuelan leader, Maduro. All right, coming up, we'll get to Philip in Florida, Texas, Eagle in Texas on board, and room for you.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. One of the people killed in the terrorist attack in Sydney, Australia, has a connection with the state of California.
The man was the brother of the co-director of Shabbat of Bakersfield, Rabbi Shmuley Schlanger. Rabbi Eli Schlanger was among at least 15 people who were killed in the mass shooting at Bondi Beach on Sunday. Before he was shot, Schlanger was preparing for a menorah lighting ceremony to celebrate the start of Hanukkah. Australian authorities say the shooters were a father and son, one of whom was killed. I'm Daniel Martindale.
New York City Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani condemned the terror attack on an Australian Hanukkah celebration that occurred on Sunday.
At least 16 people were killed on a popular Sydney beach by 2 gunmen, with dozens of others left wounded. Mamdani said he mourns the victims and promised he would keep Jewish New Yorkers safe. Mamdani, a Muslim, has had strained relations with some members of the Jewish community during his campaign over his criticism of the Israeli government. John Sommers, USA Radio News.
From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care, and here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. More than 1 million people are part of healthcare sharing now because it just makes so much sense right now. And MediShare is the gold standard. Members like it a lot. We know this from member surveys. MediShare has been around for over 30 years. It is a proven thing. And if you join before December 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save $100 right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline's December 15th. Call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. It's 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40.
Did you miss an episode of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive? Or just want to relive a little bit of the magic? Don't worry. You can download the Steve Summers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a single second of the show that was recently named one of the best late-night shows in America. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive so you don't miss a single episode. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive. Available wherever you get your podcasts or online at overnightdriveradio.com. Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
fuel additives.
Most fuel additives either impact performance or provide protection. Hot Shot Secret Everyday Diesel Treatment provides both performance enhancement and fuel system protection. Everyday Diesel Treatment delivers a 6-in-1 premium fuel treatment for every fill-up, every time.
Everyday diesel treatment is available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at hotshotsecret.com.
We know being over the road isn't easy, but getting parts for your truck can be. Rainey's offers over 100,000 parts and accessories, from chrome to cab comforts, watermelon lights to necessary replacement parts. It's all available on our website. Got questions? Our team of experts has your back from start to finish with unmatched customer service you won't get anywhere else. Head to Rainey's.com to get $25 off any order over $250 with code DRIVE25 at checkout.
Have you been searching far and wide, looking to advertise your business on a brand that will help you reach the very clients you want to walk through your front door? Well, you know they've done studies that 100% of the time, it works every time. We're talking about the Steve Summers Overnight Drive. Let us go to work for your business. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive currently broadcasts in radio markets all over the United States and was recently named one of the top 50 best late-night shows and podcasts in America. Advertising on the Steve Summers Overnight Drive will maximize your ability to reach clients both on the air and through podcasting. Consider it the best of both worlds. Don't miss this chance to put your business on the Steve Summers Overnight Drive and expand your reach immediately. Before we go, I've got one question to ask you. Are you ready to get started? If so, email me, Ryan Wild at lubricationspecialties.com, and get started showing off your business today on the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
Keep the bugs off your glass and the smokies off your ass. This is the Overnight Drive with Steve Summers.
When it comes to horsepower, there is nothing that compares to the modifieds. Multi-engine monsters with 30.5-inch tires and wheel speeds going well over 150 miles per hour. It's time to relive the master of the monsters. From the NTPA offices in Marion, Ohio, this is the NTPA Overnight Report. I'm Greg Hunter. The multi-engine monsters are crowd favorites, and for good reason. They look amazing, they sound amazing, they are amazing. With 14 tractors aiming for the Grand National title in 2025, there were a lot of popular names on the 11-pole schedule. These tractors have at least 3 big blocks burning alcohol down the track. With each engine burning about 5 gallons of fuel in 300 feet, these machines make well in excess of 10,000 horsepower. 2025 was a season to remember for Brandon Simon and his mod Simon Says. With only one rainout on the schedule in Toma, Brandon had 6 wins in the 10 points hooks that happened in 2025. Winning at the second night in Hutchinson, the only hook in Toma, the first pole in Rockwell, the 4th session in Bowling Green, and the 2nd session in Sandwich, Illinois. And at the Enderley pull-off, well, there was little doubt he would get the title. He took home a 3rd place in the 2nd session in Rockwell. To keep him on the podium, he struggled a bit in Hutchinson on night 1 and in Sandwich during session 3, getting 8th on those 2 events. Then, during the 3rd in Poletown, he struggled with only an 11th place finish. After the first hook of the season, Brandon was sitting in 8th in the points. After winning night 2, he moved up in the Grand National points to 4th, as the hauler set the GPS to Toma. With the rainout for night 1 in Toma, Simon Says took the win on night 2, and then the next hook in Rockwell. That moved him into 1st place, and he never looked back. Night 2 in Rockwell was a 3rd, and even with the 11th place finish in Bowling Green, Brandon had built up a big enough lead to stay in the points lead. Then, back-to-back wins in Bowling Green and Sandwich had the trucking company owner in a prime position to take the title. After struggling during the 2nd hook in Sandwich, Brandon took home a win at the Enderley pull-off to lock up the 2025 title by 5 points. Coming in 2nd during the season was veteran puller Bill Leischner and his tractor he calls Dirt Slinger. Dylan Owens and Thorne finished 3rd in the points. In 4th was the combo of Jeff and Ricky Rose with Giddy Up. Tommy Owens and his Rambling Rose took 5th. In 6th was Steve Bunnage with Takes a Lickin'. 7th went to Doug Christensen with Rat Pack 4. In 8th spot, it was Les Corporal and Corporal Punishment. And 9th went to Matt Johnson and his Dirt Slinger 1X. Rounding out the top 10, Brett Berg and the Rink Seed Moneymaker. From the NTPA headquarters in Marion, Ohio, this has been the NTPA Overnight Report. I'm Greg Hunter. Remember, pull hard.
Hello to Jason checking in this morning. Good morning on my way to North Dakota with a load of pipe. As we pass through Brahman, Oklahoma, 33 degrees, clear skies, dry roads. Hey, all the drivers out there, be safe. There's Billy. Morning, Steve, the overnight drive. Happy Taco Tuesday. 22 degrees, Beulahville, North Carolina. There's Too Tall. Hope everybody's doing well. Take care. Have a blessed night. Stay warm out there. And the Iron Duck, who's actually, I guess, letting Greyhound take care of the driving. Leave the driving to us. Right now, 32 degrees, St. Louis, Missouri. Next stop, Springfield, Missouri. It's been a very interesting bus ride thus far. Keep the rubber side down. He's heading off to his Class A CDL training. And Brian checks in. Morning, Steve, from Denver, Colorado. Good to have you with us. Let's head on down to Florida. Morning, Philip.
Morning, buddy. I want to comment about that Rob Reiner deal. Steve, politics and liberal views and all that stuff aside, you can't help somebody unless they help themselves. And I believe that's what Rob Reiner was going through with his kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they can't help themselves and notice they know they've got a problem and get it corrected, then stuff like this is going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can only do so much for somebody. And him and his wife have probably done the best they could. You never know. We we don't know their personal life, and that's, that's their business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But them kind of situations sometimes turn into this kind of stuff. And I don't know why President Trump made that statement. I mean, Rob's views are Rob's views. You know what I mean? Everybody has their opinion, whether we agree with it or not.
Yep.
It's their opinion. That's just the way life is. Move on. You know what I mean? And but talking about that airplane down there in Venezuela, now let me tell you what. When you're going 450 mile an hour in a plane and you're at 30,000 feet or more, and you got how many people on the airplane? Probably 100, 150, not close to 200 people on the airplane. And you see something that big come in front of you, you're going to be just like that guy was in that airplane. I mean, I'd be concerned too as well.
Yeah.
I know on FlightAware, when a lot of the F-18s and a lot of those planes are out there and they're training. Now, this is training. They have lately been turning on some of their transponders where people can see them to make their presence known down in the Caribbean. It has been on FlightAware. If you watch FlightAware, you'll see it down there. I've got the app. And I don't know why this tanker was where it was at. The military controllers have got to be talking to the regular air controllers and letting them know what's going on with this. Because the military has their own controllers too as well. And I think it was a lapse in conversation between folks. And that's kind of like what happened in that helicopter crash up there, the one that happened recently, and it's kind of the same thing, We've got to figure out a system. I know the military has to be stealth. I know they don't want to give their presence. I mean, even when the president is flying in his airplane, we don't need to know where he's at. I get that. I understand it fully, but you've got to understand you've got people's safety in mind too as well, and that's something that they need to do. They either need to restrict the airspace, make sure that the commercial airplanes can't go through that airspace. I mean, that's kind of like what they did in Iraq years ago when they had the no-fly zone. They set up a zone and said, hey, anything in this zone is going to get shot up. And that's kind of what they need to do if they're going to do something like this. But we don't want to tell somebody when we're coming to war with them in that same aspect. You know what I mean? We got to have the element of surprise.
Right.
It was very interesting what you said earlier about that organization that did the IED deal. Those kind of organizations, that's where the term Hitler ideology come from. When you see organizations like that, because that is the same stuff that Adolf Hitler did back in World War II. He wanted to create the supreme race, and it's the same thing, just on a different term, a different race. And it's not something that we need to have happen here. We're going to get a lot of that stuff happening within the next year, I think. I hope that New Year's is pretty protected like it always is. But you're going to see stupid stuff like that happening. And same way in Australia, the Jewish folks, man, they have gone through a lot in the last few years, and they have got a lot of security going. I know there's a lot of security over here on it. And it's crazy that people think that way, but some people, their beliefs carry them that way, and that's the way it's going to be. So, but as far as that Camaro goes, NASCAR's going to run it out, or Chevy's going to run that Camaro out till it ends. They're going to keep it in there. It's the only thing that they can run in NASCAR until they figure out something. I mean, how many NASCAR Camrys do you see with 4 doors, Steve? Have you seen any 4-door Camrys in NASCAR?
Right.
Absolutely not. How many Ford Tauruses did we see out there that had two doors? I've never seen a Ford Taurus with two doors. You know, it's one of those stages that you go through. They're going to go through. They're going to put a sticker on it, call it a day, and they're going to make the body to the specs of what they agree with NASCAR. Same way with the Mustang. Look how much the Mustang has developed in NASCAR. All right, so you look at Toyota. They ran the Supra in Xfinity, and they run the Camry in the Cups. What's the deal? Couldn't you run the Supra, which is a true sports car, in Cup? Why not? You know? So it's just going to be one of those things. It is what it is. They want to sell cars. That's what they're going to do it. And by the way, Steve, I think if I'm not mistaken, isn't Dodge going to get into the game in the trucks next year?
The trucks, and then maybe the automobile the following.
Absolutely. There's a few teams out there in Cup right now that are really struggling with financial deals because I think they're banking on going with Dodge because they don't have any OEM backing. I mean, there's a couple of Cup teams. I mean, Brain Dead can elate more about that than I can, but there's a few Cup teams out there right now that don't have any OEM backing. And what that means is if they're running a Chevy, they don't have Chevy standing behind them in their sponsorships and their help as far as developing their machine. So, because a lot of them are counting on this Dodge thing to happen, and it might happen. I'd be kind of interested to see if Petty and those guys go back from Toyota to Dodge. That would be interesting, but I don't think that's going to happen because Jimmy Johnson has got a lot tied up in that Toyota deal. But you're going to see crazy stuff like that happening in NASCAR. So, but that's all I got today, buddy. I appreciate your time, and thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Philip, have a great morning. Safe travels. Let me see here. Back to the Reiner thing. Yeah, mom and dad doing what they can. They tried and tried and tried to help this kid. Well, he wasn't a kid anymore. I think his first rehab stint was when he was like 15 years old. By the age of 18, he'd been in and out and in and out. Obviously, he went through at least a period, a year or two, where he worked with his dad, Rob, back, as I said, in 2015. Now, according to I guess some of this is the first I've heard, Rolling Stone magazine reports that Nick was exhibiting antisocial behavior while he was at the party the other night, Conan O'Brien's holiday party on Saturday. Sources tell the Rolling Stone that the Reiners actually asked if they could bring Nick with them to the party out of concern for him to keep an eye on him. So at the age of 32, they're still trying to keep an eye, shelter him, I guess. But at the party, sources say Nick exhibited antisocial behavior, like staring at people. Okay, so the TMZ was the first to report that Nick attended the party. Nick and Rob got into a very loud argument at the party. They reported in recent months, the two were struggling. Rob and the wife were struggling how to deal with Nick as he continued to battle mental health issues and the substance abuse. Let's see. We all know they were found dead at the home there on Sunday. Nick had a complicated relationship, they say, with his parents. Rehab at 15. His teenage years rotating in and out of other facilities. Several years after getting clean at the age of 19, when he co-wrote that semi-autobiographical film, Being Charlie. But they do say one of Nick's last known public appearances was back in September at the Los Angeles premiere of Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues. Nick was actually photographed on the red carpet with his parents and other siblings there. But what was the argument about? Was it the fact that he was being antisocial, staring at people, creeping people out? Sad scenario nonetheless. But yeah, I mean, as late as the day before he took his parents' life, Mom and Dad were trying to keep an eye on their kid. Back into the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
Transport Enterprise Leasing, founded by a U.S. Army veteran, proudly supports those who've served. Veterans receive a $750 discount on their lease deposit with 24/7 maintenance support, national parts discounts, and interest-free financing. TEL is committed to your success. Call 866-404-6289 and use promo code OVERNIGHT100 or visit tel360.com. Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
Have you been searching far and wide, looking to advertise your business on a brand that will help you reach the very clients you want to walk through your front door? Well, you know they've done studies that 100% of the time, it works every time. We're talking about the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. Let us go to work for your business. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive currently broadcasts in radio markets all over the United States and was recently named one of the top 50 best late-night shows and podcasts in America. Advertising on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive will maximize your ability to reach clients both on the air and through podcasting. Consider it the best of both worlds. Don't miss this chance to put your business on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive and expand your reach immediately. Before we go, I've got one question to ask you. Are you ready to get started? If so, email me, Ryan Wild at lubricationspecialties.com, and get started showing off your business today on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
All right, and a big shout out to Big John, who says, "Good morning, Steve, and the overnight crew. Everybody's doing well. I'm going to ask you, the overnight crew, to keep my wife in your prayers. Not feeling well, been to the hospital twice. Seems to be on the mend, but everybody take care. Have a blessed night. Stay safe out there. Driving from your friend Big John." All right, appreciate that, John. Meanwhile, see if, all right, Eagle. Are we hanging in there, Eagle? Good morning.
Yeah, hello?
Hey, what's happening?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, dozed off for a while. Yeah, I got a couple things I wanted to discuss with you tonight. First of all, wanted to say about the shooter in, let's talk about him first, and then I'll get to the Australian thing. The shooter in Rhode Island. I'm still on the loose, so they say. The guy they had in custody, you said last night when I was talking to you, they released him. So, from what they saying, Steve, it's gonna be hard to find this guy, especially when you don't know what he looked like. So, they have no description of the guy. All they got is a black outfit. They didn't see his face, so I don't know how they're gonna catch up with him unless he run his mouth, bragging to one of his friends about what he did or something like that. That'll be the only way they catch up to him and look like. I don't know. I was gonna say something about it, but I heard something. But I don't think it's credible news to say what I heard about it. You know, his affiliation with some people, but it hasn't been proven, so I'm not gonna bring that up until I got more evidence that this man is involved in something else. But what I will say is this one man, Steve, if you want to if you want to see a man, when you seen the video of what a real hero look like, is what that man in Australia did. Go up to a man with a gun and take it out of his hand. You don't get no braver than that. He wasn't trying to save his own family. Somebody he knew, he was saving people that he didn't even know. So this guy here is a real hero for what he did. He might lose his life in the process, but didn't he lose his life? Did that guy die?
No, he actually he was shot like in the eye. He's had surgery and he's getting better. He's on the mend, they say.
Oh, okay. Well, whoever the president of Australia, he needs to be invited to the Capitol or wherever it is and given some kind of medal by the president of Australia, because he damn sure deserves it, because he saved a lot of lives. Now, these people are cowards. Okay, let me get into the serious part of it. These people are cowards, Steve. These organizations, these groups, whatever you want to call them, terrorist groups, organizations, anybody that goes up on a bridge or a podium and takes pop shots at people that doesn't make you a tough guy. That makes you a coward in the biggest possible means with a capital C. That's what they are. They can't do it face to face with somebody, shooting innocent women and kids. And they'll pay the ultimate price one of these days for what they're doing. But here's what concerns me the most, and I've been telling you this for the last 4 or 5 years. In Donald Trump. Luckily, we got Donald Trump in the White House. If Donald Trump was in the White House, we would be in real big trouble in the United States of America. But these people are in the country, Steve. 18,000 people, terrorists that are on the loose in America right now, and they already thwarted an attack that was planned for Los Angeles, California, on January the 1st. They overheard some conversations, and they got these guys behind bars, 4 people that was planning to plant some explosives. So I don't care what people say about this nice guy stuff, talking about, well, everybody that believes in this Muslim religion ain't bad. Well, nobody said everybody was, but they're the one. I'm concerned with the ones that are bad. That's what I'm concerned with. The ones that have been radicalized.
Yes.
And I want them out of the country, and they should be out of the country immediately. And as far as Donald Trump saying he shut down all the borders of the United States to anybody, that if your country is on a terrorist watch list, you are no longer allowed into America unless you want to become like Australia and England and Paris, France, and all these other places that try to play that nice guy stuff. And you see what happens. These people are not playing nice, Steve. These people are trying to take people's lives. And if you don't want to see that same situation in America with a guy taking pop shots with a long gun at American people, you better get these people out of the country, and you better get them out real fast, because these people have bad intentions. And like I told you, and I'm going to say this, Joe Biden, Steve, what Joe Biden did to the United States of America, he ought to be in a courtroom somewhere.
For letting them all in. I'm with you there. But, hey, we got to get a news break.
Transport Enterprise Leasing, founded by a U.S. Army veteran, proudly supports those who've served. Veterans receive a $750 discount on their lease deposit with 24/7 maintenance support, national parts discounts, and interest-free financing. TEL is committed to your success. Call 866-404-6289 and use promo code overnight100 or visit tel360.com. Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
Have you been searching far and wide, looking to advertise your business on a brand that will help you reach the very clients you want to walk through your front door? Well, they've done studies that 100% of the time, it works every time.
We're talking about the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. Let us go to work for your business. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive currently broadcasts in radio markets all over the United States and was recently named one of the top 50 best late-night shows and podcasts in America. Advertising on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive will maximize your ability to reach clients both on the air and through podcasting. Consider it the best of both worlds. Don't miss this chance to put your business on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive and expand your reach immediately. Before we go, I've got one question to ask you. Are you ready to get started? If so, email me, Ryan Wild at lubricationspecialties.com, and get started showing off your business today on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. Australia is vowing a crackdown on guns and anti-Semitism following the attack against the Jewish community at Bondi Beach in Sydney.
The murders in Australia, where mass gun violence is rare, has shocked the country and led to calls from officials to further tighten gun restrictions. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says he's looking at additional tightening on what are already strict gun laws. He's also said that his government is working to eradicate anti-Semitism. But some within the Jewish community have voiced feelings that an attack of this nature was inevitable. A father and son reportedly carried out the attack. The father was killed in the incident. The son remains in hospital, along with dozens of their victims. Nick Harper reporting.
Brown University has identified 2 students killed in Saturday's classroom shooting as sophomore Ella Cook and freshman Muhammad Aziz Umar Zokov. Authorities say 9 others were wounded. No suspect has been named. National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett says President Trump would not influence future decisions made by the Federal Reserve.
Hassett, considered to take over the role as Fed chair, made the comment during an appearance on CBS Face the Nation.
He would have no weight. It's just his opinion matters if it's good, if it's based on data.
President Trump started final interviews for the next Federal Reserve chair this past week. The president told reporters on Air Force One, "We're going to be looking at a couple of different people, but I have a pretty good idea of who I want." John Sommers, USA Radio News.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is facing criticism after labeling Senator Tommy Tuberville's warnings about Islamic terrorism as despicable Islamophobia. Tuberville tied the Brown University gunman to radical Islam and highlighted risks from Muslim immigration. Schumer calls the comments unacceptable, but Tuberville insists Americans must confront the threat of Islamic extremism. From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
No matter who we are or where we come from, we all experience difficulties in life.
Military veterans know that sometimes it takes strength and determination to make it through.
Whether it's obvious physical challenges or struggles on the inside, it takes strength to ask for help when you need it.
I knew that I had to get support, not just for me, but for the sake of my wife and kids.
Talking about it has helped me feel more like myself again.
Honestly, it was hard to open up at first, but it's changed my life for the better.
Learn how veterans like us have reached out for help. And hear stories of strength and recovery at MakeTheConnection.net.
The sirens will light off. We're going to produce at least 75 decibels in all those close proximity cabins.
Camp Mystic in the Texas Hill Country is installing high-tech flood warning sensors along the Guadalupe River. Developed by River Sentry, Ian Cunningham says the monitors include sirens and spotlights to guide campers to safety.
If you had a hotel, we're required by fire code to have a network fire alarm system. We're basically trying to replicate the same thing along the river.
The all-girls camp lost 25 campers and 2 teenage counselors during the July 4th floods. The FDA has expanded approval of the female libido drug Addyi, allowing postmenopausal women up to age 65 take the once-a-day pill. First approved for premenopausal women back in 2015, Addyi affects brain chemicals linked to mood and appetite, but carries warnings about dizziness, nausea, and serious risks if combined with alcohol. Well, you may want to think twice if you're thinking about decorating your car with Christmas lights.
Adding lights to your car can be against the law. Virginia has several laws when it comes to what lights are allowed on certain vehicles. For example, adding lights to privately owned cars to display colors that would be associated with emergency vehicles is against the law. Cars are only allowed to have red for brake lights, and flashing lights are even more prohibited. Virginia State Police say it's also illegal to obscure a car's headlights or brake lights with wire, plastic covers, or other non-original equipment. It's also against the law to have any sort of holiday decoration on your car roof. I'm Rosia Rivera.
And I'm Anthony Lucero, USA Radio News.
Would you know where to turn if you or a loved one became paralyzed? For thousands of families, the National Paralysis Resource Center has been that lifeline. But now federal funding's at risk. Sherman Gillums Jr., a partially paralyzed Marine veteran with the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation, explains why.
This is about more than just a budget line. It's about veterans, caregivers, and families, real people who need these resources to live more productive and independent lives.
Learn more at ChristopherReeve.org.
Did you miss an episode of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive? Or just want to relive a little bit of the magic? Don't worry. You can download the Steve Summers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a single second of the show that was recently named one of the best late-night shows in America. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive so you don't miss a single episode. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive. Available wherever you get your podcasts or online at overnightdriveradio.com.
Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
You're listening to the Overnight Drive with Steve Summers.
Indeed, as we cross over the midnight hour on the West Coast. Good to have you with us. Welcome into a Tuesday. I would say in the industry headlines, this is a jury award that will undoubtedly be appealed. We use the term nuclear verdict, as they call it. And this is a big one. A jury just awarding tens of millions of dollars to the family of a man that was killed in a massive pileup crash on I-35 in Texas. This was back in 2021. It was December the 12th. When the jury comes back with a $44.1 million award to the family of Christopher Ray Vardy. The $44.1 million verdict against Missouri-based trucking company New Prime Incorporated. $24.1 million in compensatory damages, $20 million in punitive damages due to gross negligence, according to the news release from the attorney that represented the Vardy family. Vardy lost his life in a pickup crash, a pileup crash rather, that occurred on I-35 in Fort Worth, February 11 of 21. It was a winter weather ice storm. You may recall this pileup ultimately involved 133 vehicles. This was the elevated section of the southbound toll lanes. 6 people, including Vardy, were killed. 36 others were hospitalized with injuries. From the news release announcing that $44.1 million award states, evidence presented during the trial showed that the trucking operator New Prime Incorporated's driver Stephen Ritter did not receive adequate winter weather driving training and failed to exercise extreme caution in hazardous weather. The 18-wheeler owned by New Prime, driven by Mr. Ritter, rear-ending Mr. Vardy's vehicle, which was stopped because of other crashes in front of him. Cranes and heavy machinery were required to find, then extricate Mr. Vardy and his truck that was buried amidst crash debris and injured victims. The jury agreed with attorneys representing the Vardy family that the big rig was being driven at an excessive speed given the weather conditions. Trucking companies have the obligation to make sure their big rigs are being operated safely, which means taking extra precaution during extreme weather conditions, given the enormous size and weight of these vehicles, according to Branson. The attention paid by this jury to the evidence during trial and deliberations and their resulting verdict gives the Vardy family a measure of comfort and sense of justice in their tragic loss. Now, the ultimate final report from the National Transportation Safety Board, which came down in 2023, 2 years after the crash, found that the company that was responsible for de-icing the interstate where the pileup occurred had failed to properly monitor and respond to the road conditions following 36 consecutive hours of below freezing temperatures. That report also faulted drivers for going too fast for conditions. But again, this is just one of what was ultimately 133 vehicles involved in that crash. I guess everybody was going too fast for conditions. I think this was the whole premise that elevated surfaces, bridges, overpasses that tend to ice up. I think the interstate itself may have been fine at that moment in time. When you hit the elevated surface, you had the freezing fog, the black ice, and that catches many a people off guard, obviously. But 44.1 million. I don't know. I think New Prime can cover that. Meanwhile, where will Dan Bongino go? There's, again, reports kind of surfacing that he may be looking to exit the FBI. According to Fox News this past day, Dan Bongino will decide his future at the FBI within the next few weeks. Going back over the summer, you may recall, it was reported that Dan took a day off work after a clash with Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, over the handling of the Epstein files. That blow-up between the two happened after the FBI and the Department of Justice released a 2-page memo concluding that Jeffrey Epstein did not have a client list and that he committed suicide. Dan didn't report to work Friday amid speculation about his whereabouts, and a source familiar with the perspectives of DOJ leaders who also believes he's considering leaving. This came after a confrontation Wednesday at a meeting with Bondi and White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, during which Bongino and Patel were asked about a news story suggesting they were dissatisfied with the decision not to release any additional Epstein files. According to the source familiar with the perspectives of the Department of Justice leaders and an additional source familiar with the meeting, that was back in July. Now, according to some reports, Dan took a whole week off work after the Epstein file blow-up. It was also previously reported that he was considering resigning if Bondi stayed at the Department of Justice. Just last month, it was reported that by MS Now, formerly MSNBC, that Kash Patel is on thin ice and he may be ousted. They also reported that the top FBI official Andrew Bailey is in line to take Patel's place. Now, their report which, the president at the time, when he was asked, are you planning to replace Kash Patel? Kash Patel, no, he's doing a great job. That was shortly after that initial report, so supposedly Patel's been under scrutiny for his stewardship of bureau resources, his girlfriend's security detail, use of a government jet, his squabbles with other Trump loyalists. And it's just you constantly have these rumors and rumblings and minutia in the circles there in Washington, D.C. What's true, what's not, I guess we'll find out when Dad makes his ultimate decision. Maybe much ado about nothing. Meanwhile, 844-844-3388. It's been a while since we've heard from the Grasshopper. Morning, Grasshopper.
Grasshopper. I've been called that a time or two. Oh, it's called to let you know I'm going to hang it up just like old Knuckle Buster. Yeah.
Really?
January 2nd. I'm calling it a day.
How about that?
Yeah. 40 years. I started when I was 21. I'm 61. So I'm going to take the rest of this winter off, and they go find me a little cushy day job there locally in the daytime.
Mm-hmm.
Nighttime's just, it's took its toll on me. I got to get off of it and spend the night at home with the mama. She's getting older too, so
well, ain't none of us getting any younger. But yeah, so you put a few miles under your belt over the years.
Oh, I sure have. Yeah, it's been quite the journey for sure. I've been with this same company for 30 years of that, so yeah, I'm like Knuckle Buster. These drivers out here, it's just everything. It's just a lot. I mean, it takes, you think about it. I mean, I've been thinking about it for like 6 months. Well, should I not, and then you just, then you think, well, just a few more months, that can continue on forever. And it's like, you know what, just pull the trigger, take a leap of faith, and, the Lord will let everything work out. So, yeah, all these pileups. I'd never heard of all these pileups like I have the last several years. It's like there was one bad one and two bad ones in Illinois over the weekend. They're on 57 and up in Springfield, and a few weeks prior, Terre Haute had like 50 vehicles.
Yeah,
I don't understand that. I really just don't get it. But I don't want to be a statistic.
I'm with you there. I obviously, I mean, in most of these winter pileups, I think people are still trying to do 50, 60 mile an hour, and it don't work.
No, it sure doesn't. It's just getting a little bit too much for this old man. I mean, I let the younger boys handle it. And then they putting all this AI in these trucks, and it's like, what's next? And it's like, you're about scared to come to work, afraid you're going to get fired for doing something, cross the line or run stop sign accident, young boys can have at it. But yeah, I'll miss all you guys. I mean, I still listen every night, and I remember the first time I called in, I called you Bozo. So I'm not the Bozo. It was like, well, you sound just like your dad did, and that's why it got me all confused. But
wow.
It's been a few years ago too. But yeah, hats off to guys that are going to keep going with it. I pray for them. But that night shift, boy, after doing it for so many years,
it does. That's scientifically proven that us overnighters, us night owls. Yeah, it does. I mean, the circadian rhythm. What circadian rhythm? We're totally screwed up.
Right. Yeah, you might get 2 or 3 hours during the day, and then you'll wake up, and then it's like, man, I got to go back to sleep.
Yep.
And when I'm at home on vacation or a few days off, I sleep really good at night. So I don't think it's going to be hard to switch over, but I just got to get rid of the nightmare dreams of driving a truck and losing my brakes and that kind of stuff. And I don't like those kind of dreams. But anyway, I might call in one more time or two before I decide to say adios for sure.
Officially hang it up. Okay. Well, yeah, do that. Great to hear from you. So I guess we're all the same. You have truck drivers have dreams about trucking issues, being involved in an accident, something not work. I have dreams constantly. I mean, about being off the air, or I can't get something loaded, right? Or I can't get to the studio. I'm 100 miles away, and I got to be there by midnight. Those kind of things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, sure. Well, I guess it's hopefully those will go away eventually. But how long are you going to think you're going to keep going?
I hadn't thought about anything as far as retirement goes at this point.
No. I know you're just a tad bit older than me. You're 61 now?
61.
61?
Yep.
Okay, you're the same age as I am, but I think your birthday's in
October.
October. All right. See, I don't plan on taking my Social Security till I'm 65, and then I'll take that and my 401k, and then I should be done altogether. But
Mm-hmm.
we'll try to hold off on that, and I took my pension one lump sum, pay everything off, and should be good to go.
There you go. Yeah. Well, if you can pay off all your bills, yeah, you might not be living the highfalutin lifestyle on. Yeah. Well, I have no idea what he's got in his 401k, but as far as like relying on Social Security or whatever, it's all right. Great to hear from you there, Grasshopper. Yeah, I always call him Grasshopper, going back to the Kung Fu days, right? And we'll be right back.
Did you miss an episode of the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive? Or just want to relive a little bit of the magic? Don't worry. You can download the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a single second of the show that was recently named one of the best late night shows in America. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive so you don't miss a single episode. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. Available wherever you get your podcasts or online at overnightdriveradio.com.
Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
Fuel additives.
most fuel additives either impact performance or provide protection. Hot Shot Secret Everyday Diesel Treatment provides both performance enhancement and fuel system protection. Everyday Diesel Treatment delivers a 6-in-1 premium fuel treatment for every fill-up, every time.
Everyday diesel treatment is available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at hotshotsecret.com.
We know being over the road isn't easy, but getting parts for your truck can be. Rainey's offers over 100,000 parts and accessories, from chrome to cab comforts, watermelon lights to necessary replacement parts. It's all available on our website. Got questions? Our team of experts has your back from start to finish with unmatched customer service you won't get anywhere else. Head to Rainey's.com to get $25 off any order over $250 with code DRIVE25 at checkout.
Have you been searching far and wide, looking to advertise your business on a brand that will help you reach the very clients you want to walk through your front door? Well, they've done studies that 100% of the time, it works every time. We're talking about the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. Let us go to work for your business. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive currently broadcasts in radio markets all over the United States and was recently named one of the top 50 best late night shows and podcasts in America. Advertising on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive will maximize your ability to reach clients both on the air and through podcasting. Consider it the best of both worlds. Don't miss this chance to put your business on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive and expand your reach immediately. Before we go, I've got one question to ask you. Are you ready to get started? If so, email me Ryan Wild at lubricationspecialties.com and get started showing off your business today on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
All right, what do you say? 844-844-3388. Hello to Tom checking in, who says, good morning, Steve. You're a great man. Keeping us all entertained overnight, along with information. Thanks for what you do, from Tom. Well, thank you for being a listener. Wouldn't be here if I didn't have you, Tom, right? And all the others out there. Hello, 5-7, copy in the mail. Go Navy. Good morning. And there's Roy, Northwest Illinois, on board. Happy Taco Tuesday. Now, did somebody say Gilla Claus was on board? Well, good morning, Gilla Claus. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Yes, this is the one and only Gilla Claus with my annual naughty and nice list. Well, let's just start over here on the naughty side. Well, this year I gotta put the Knuckle Buster on the naughty list. He's been chasing women all over the place. I don't know about the Knuckle Buster. On the nice list, I had a hard decision to make. Oh, you know that scoundrel Horse Feathers keeps on passing gas and smoking on the fuel rack. Well, he does such good work for the children there with Make-A-Wish. Yeah. Now, over there on that naughty list, there's a man that only called in a couple times up there in Wisconsin. Goes by the call Bronco Man. Well, we call him Sport for short. But he is up to no good every little bit. Now over to the nice list. Well, Steve, we've got to put you on the nice list, of course, because you bring us this great show and keep us entertained every night. You know, you got people that, I don't know, some of them are a little out there, but it's at least it's entertaining. Now you go over to the naughty list. I'm telling you what. Oh, that's right, Wingnut. Oh, you never know what that scoundrel's gonna do. I mean, he's just up to no good all the time. Now over on the nice list. Oh, we gotta have Josh in there. Oh, great job with the products and helping keep the show on the air. Now the top of that naughty list. Oh, wow. We gotta put that Charlie Farquharson impersonator. You know, he spends more time drunk than he does sober. Always sleeping on the job over there working security there at the GMA BS Enterprises skyscraper. I'll tell you what, don't get much naughtier than that. Now, of course, there on the nice list, we got to put Kyle. Boy, I know he's a lot of help there with keeping things running there at the studio. Well, everybody, that's the Gilla Claus's report on his naughty and nice list. I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas.
All
by
right.
the way,
Oh, yes, go ahead.
yeah, I've been hearing that a Charlie Farquharson impersonator and that right wingnut have been doing a caroling at night. It's I don't know. They may be calling in later in the week. Oh, I'll tell you what. I don't think I'd want them showing up at my door. You know how they are. They seem to be hitting that cough medicine, as they say.
That's the magical elixir. All right, thank you. Gilla Claus, Merry Christmas. It's almost that time, is it not? All right, plenty of room for you at 844-844-3388. Get back to your calls following a news break. See what's going on. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive, live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. One of the people killed in the terrorist attack in Sydney, Australia, has a connection with the state of California.
The man was the brother of the co-director of Shabbat of Bakersfield, Rabbi Shmuley Schlanger. Rabbi Eli Schlanger was among at least 15 people who were killed in the mass shooting at Bondi Beach on Sunday. Before he was shot, Schlanger was preparing for a menorah lighting ceremony to celebrate the start of Hanukkah. Australian authorities say the shooters were a father and son, one of whom was killed. I'm Daniel Martindale.
New York City Mayor-elect Zoran Mandani condemned the terror attack on an Australian Hanukkah celebration that occurred on Sunday.
At least 16 people were killed on a popular Sydney beach by two gunmen, with dozens of others left wounded. Mamdani said he mourns the victims and promised he would keep Jewish New Yorkers safe. Mamdani, a Muslim, has had strained relations with some members of the Jewish community during his campaign over his criticism of the Israeli government. John Sommers, USA Radio News.
From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care, and here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. More than 1 million people are part of healthcare sharing now because it just makes so much sense right now. And MediShare is the gold standard. Members like it a lot. We know this from member surveys. MediShare has been around for over 30 years. It is a proven thing. And if you join before December 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save $100 right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline's December 15th. Call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. It's 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40.
Have you been searching far and wide, looking to advertise your business on a brand that will help you reach the very clients you want to walk through your front door? Well, you know they've done studies that 100% of the time, it works every time. We're talking about the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. Let us go to work for your business. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive currently broadcasts in radio markets all over the United States and was recently named one of the top 50 best late-night shows and podcasts in America. Advertising on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive will maximize your ability to reach clients both on the air and through podcasting. Consider it the best of both worlds. Don't miss this chance to put your business on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive and expand your reach immediately. Before we go, I've got one question to ask you. Are you ready to get started? If so, email me, Ryan Wild at lubricationspecialties.com, and get started showing off your business today on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
Truckers, meet the SpeedMax Pro Max, the tire built for serious hauls and serious peace of mind. With rugged construction and performance you can count on, Pro Max is made for the long road ahead. And here's the best part. It comes with an 8-year warranty. That's right, 8 years of confidence, mile after mile. Ask SpeedMax. Drive far. Drive strong. For more info, call 860-436-4100 or buy online at digitire.com. Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
It's no secret, today's diesel isn't as good as it should be. Diesel lacks lubricity. That can lead to fuel system failure, costing thousands in repairs. But you can prevent those issues with Hot Shot Secret products. Clean injectors, boost cetane, increase fuel economy while adding 4 times more lubricity than the leading competitor. Claims proven by real-world use and confirmed by third-party ASTM testing. Available nationwide at truck stops, farm and automotive stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Did you miss an episode of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive? Or just want to relive a little bit of the magic? Don't worry. You can download the Steve Summers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a single second of the show that was recently named one of the best late night shows in America. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive so you don't miss a single episode. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
We know you'd like to be cuddled up real tight with a sweet little thing all night. But instead, you've got Steve Summers. It's the Overnight Drive.
All right, meanwhile, we were on the topic of the drugs killing Americans every day. On our Monday morning program, discussed it. Well, this past day, apparently the president announcing he is going to classify fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction, ramping up the campaign against the drug cartels in Latin America. As he was signing the executive order that placed fentanyl in the same category as nuclear and chemical weapons, the president said no bomb does what this is doing. 300,000 people every year. And last year, the Centers for Disease Control reported an estimated total of about 80,000 overdose deaths in the country. 48,000 of those due to synthetic opioids. The executive order says illicit fentanyl is closer to a chemical weapon than a narcotic. It threatens our national security. It fuels lawlessness in our hemisphere and at our borders. This kind of ties in with the war against narco-terrorists. Obviously, the drug smuggling boats that have left nearly 90 dead since early September. Now, they do point out, the president argues destroying each of these intercepted vessels is saving 25,000 lives. Critics say the boats that are coming out of Venezuela are more than likely carrying cocaine rather than fentanyl. The fentanyl is overwhelmingly coming across the southern border from Mexico, not by sea from Colombia or Venezuela. But we can continue to watch the military buildup in the Caribbean. World's largest aircraft carrier, a slew of other warships. A string of U.S. military aircraft have flown along Venezuela's coast in recent weeks. Venezuela's leftist leader, Nicolas Maduro, now accusing Washington of using narcotics smuggling as a pretext for a regime change in Caracas. The U.S. has sought to link the two issues, accusing Maduro of leading the Cartel of the Suns, described or declared as a narco-terrorist organization last month. And of course, for some time, there's been a $50 million reward for information leading to the capture of Nicolas Maduro there. Will that classification make a difference? We're supposed to have these agreements. China is the primary source of the base ingredients to manufacture the fentanyl. Xi Jinping had supposedly vowed to work to stop those base ingredients from being able to make it into the likes of Mexico for the manufacture of the actual fentanyl. And here it's been about 6-8 weeks ago. When was it? When they had the big, the drug raid taking place there in Kensington, home to the world's largest open drug market there, going in and trying to quash some of the main drug dealers. There was one particular facility that was pretty much a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week operation where the addicts could get their drugs. I thought that might really begin to make a difference there. But with each passing day, the videos continue to surface, and nothing seems to have really changed on the streets there. In Kensington, the drugs are still making it in from somewhere. I guess you stop one dealer, and another dealer just moves in to take their place. All right, it's 844-844-3388. Well, another change that comes our way here at the start of the new year in the state of Ohio will be impacting schools throughout the state as part of the state budget that was passed over the summer. School districts in the state must ban the use of cell phones and smart devices in schools statewide starting January 1. So right now, students have a few days of school left before they go on the winter break. When they come back in 2026, the new phone ban will officially be state law. Many districts in central Ohio, they say, have already implemented the ban. The Columbus Board of Education president said their district has a strict phone policy. They've had one since 2015, he says. This shift to what's going to happen with kids not being able to use their phones shouldn't even be a worry or a concern because we've already had this policy, again, in Columbus. But this past fall, the board updated the policy to completely adhere to state law. Students will not be allowed to use cell phones or any other smart device during the school day. That includes during instruction, in the hallways between classes, even at lunch. They said they've informed families and the community and students leading up to January 1 is that this is, and the response we've got, they say, for the most part has been positive. Hopeful that the level of culture and climate in the school building and refocus the attention on their coursework, education. Southwestern city schools implemented a total ban on phones that started at the beginning of this school year. Central Crossings High School principal said students and staff have had the semester to work out any sort of kinks. We actually went so far that we had our technology department install a new phone, an extra phone, down the office because we had kids at the beginning of the school year saying, I'm not supposed to be on my phone, but I need to call my mom. Things of that nature. Now, we actually have teachers noticing students are more involved during class now and socializing more during lunch and in the hallways. All right, students can still bring their phones to school, but they have to be turned off and put away. There are exceptions to the ban, including if students need them for medical purposes or during an emergency. So I guess they can have them like in their backpack or their book bag or whatever, but they have to be turned off. In the event of any sort of a emergency situation, they would be able to use them, obviously. Interesting. Statewide. Yeah, kicking in first of the year in the state of Ohio. Meanwhile, see what we've got going on with the right-wing nut this morning. Hey there.
Yes, right-wing nut, yeah. Well, I'm glad I'm on the top of the naughty list there on Gila Claus's list of good and bad. That means I'll be getting me lumps of coal, which will keep me nice and warm during all these cold winter nights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So go ahead, Gila Claus, bring me all the lumps you got. I'll be fat and happy by the fire. Yeah. I don't know what cooked meat over a coal fire is going to taste like. It might be a little crunchy with all them little particles coming off of the rocks. So I guess we'll find out here pretty soon. Well, let's see here. The difference between fentanyl and cocaine. Well, I guess cocaine is better as it doesn't kill near as many at one time like that fentanyl pill does. But really, where in the hell do these people come up with the idea that, oh, it's only cocaine coming out of Colombia? Well, it may be so, but ain't that a drug that people get addicted to and they
Yes.
do all sorts of weird? Yeah, so I don't care if it's just cocaine. You don't get a fishing boat with 8 engines on there lit up to go across Caribbean and the Gulf to get here.
To
And
do
it'd
some
be
fishing.
an okay thing.
They're fishing.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure the sharks are all having a good time, and they're probably all singing the same thing that them boys sing right about now. Let us know, let us know, let us know. Yeah, I'm sure them guys are really getting a snoot full when them boats explode above them. Oh, let's see here. Well, I did find myself a better cigar over the weekend. And they're called Monicas. Not Monacos, but Monicas. Yeah. It's a lot smoother. Has a nice appeal to them, you know. So, but, I just figured I'd let that one come out there and let everybody know I found a better cigar, but I'm still getting the cough remedy from GMA and BS Enterprises. So, if Gila Claus could, he could probably go ahead and drop me off a couple of cases of that while I'm keeping warm by the coal fire. And, Scrapyard, if you're out there, I got a call from the heat wave asking if you'd mind sharing your number with him so he can go ahead and give you a holler since he apparently goes across Arkansas on a regular basis. So, if you don't mind getting his number from Steve, and yeah, he'd be more than happy to yak at you whenever you're up during the nighttime hours as well. So, other than that, what was that deal about the referee crew getting dismissed after the Detroit-Dallas football game last 2 weekends ago? Did you hear anything about that? And what was that all about?
I don't think I heard a thing about that, no.
I figured Jerry Jones is crying again about, why his team ain't going to the Super Bowl. I bet he's lamenting the fact that he said after Jimmy Johnson won them Super Bowls that any 500 coaches could have coached that team to a Super Bowl. But I bet he's getting closer to 500 now than what he did when he had Jimmy up there, and he ain't got nowhere near a Super Bowl. Well, I guess Barry Switzer, but that's another story for another time. But, yeah, I tell you what, I don't think Dallas will ever make a Super Bowl. Yeah, they'd just be on the sidelines, 40 millionaires and 8 billionaires watching the football game, cheering for the NFC champion to win the Super Bowl. But, yeah, I tell you what, it's another screwed up year thanks to a multi-billionaire that ain't got more sense than poor. Well, we won't go that direction. But anyways, I'll go ahead and let you go there. You have yourself a good night.
All right, good to hear from the right-wing nut. So, the exact opposite of the scenario that unfolded in Australia, where the individual actually intervened, running up, taking control of one of those shooters, wrestling the gun away from him to stop him from taking lives of people he didn't even know. The about face of that is a couple vacationing in Colombia. The video sparking outrage as the young male tourist appears to just actually abandon his female companion when someone approached to attack him with a knife. This guy runs away and watches as the attacker is trying to go after supposedly his girlfriend. Yeah, the man left her alone. Luckily, other men, real men, ultimately intervened. The footage posted on X by the New York Post. Two backpackers were standing outside a business when a man suddenly approached with what looks like a knife. The woman was immediately targeted, and the attacker moved to strike her with a blade. Instead of stepping in, her boyfriend stepped away, actually backs off completely, does nothing. At one point, he even appeared to shield himself behind a wall while watching her struggle with the attacker. The video showed her fighting the assailant for roughly 15 seconds without help from her companion, continued resisting alone while other men nearby failed to act. Finally, a good Samaritan did race forward and slammed the attacker with a motorcycle helmet. That intervention kind of broke the stalemate, and three more passerby quickly joined in, tackling the suspect and beating him till he was subdued. Even with the attacker fully outnumbered, the male tourist, the boyfriend, actually still never joined the effort and stayed out of the fight completely. A few details about the incident have been made public. The exact date of the cowardly response is unclear, but the headline, the pair appears to have been together before the attack. In any event, the man in the video might be the most cowardly person to go viral in some time. And the online reaction of this loser has been swift and unforgiving. Viewers blasting this guy, failing to step in as the woman fights off an attacker. Did that dude just run and leave her there to fight this nut job off alone? Yep. Another said, hopefully she dumps her weakling boy man. Another commenter summed up the mood pretty bluntly. Zero doubt who that American guy voted for. As for the women, many praising her bravery, and the men that ultimately did step in to protect her when her own companion would not. How about that? Wow. It is 844-844-3388. Plenty of room for you. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
Have you been searching far and wide, looking to advertise your business on a brand that will help you reach the very clients you want to walk through your front door? Well, you know they've done studies that 100% of the time, it works every time. We're talking about the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. Let us go to work for your business. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive currently broadcasts in radio markets all over the United States and was recently named one of the top 50 best late-night shows and podcasts in America. Advertising on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive will maximize your ability to reach clients both on the air and through podcasting. Consider it the best of both worlds. Don't miss this chance to put your business on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive and expand your reach immediately. Before we go, I've got one question to ask you. Are you ready to get started? If so, email me, Ryan Wild at lubricationspecialties.com, and get started showing off your business today on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
It's no secret, today's diesel isn't as good as it should be. Diesel lacks lubricity. That can lead to fuel system failure, costing thousands in repairs. But you can prevent those issues with Hot Shot Secret products. Clean injectors, boost cetane, increase fuel economy while adding 4 times more lubricity than the leading competitor. Claims proven by real-world use and confirmed by third-party ASTM testing. Available nationwide at truck stops, farm and automotive stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
At TEL, we know what it takes to succeed as an owner-operator because we were founded by one. The big secret? Affordable new trucks, new equipment, keeps you moving, improves cash flow, and delivers reliability for over 20 years. We've helped drivers take the next step in their careers. Call TEL at 866-404-6289 and use promo code OVERNIGHT100. We look forward to meeting you.
New York, where the federal audit has uncovered New York State is routinely issuing unlawful or illegal commercial driver's licenses. Licenses that are valid for up to 8 years, giving them to applicants, foreign applicants, even with expired visas or work authorizations. The audit conducted by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration revealed that 53% of more than 32,000 non-domiciled CDLs, we're talking close to 17,000 licenses issued by that state, fail to comply with federal law. What we uncovered in New York is not administrative oversight. It's a systematically, grossly unacceptable deviation from a federal safety regulation that's been on the book for a long period of time. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy held a press conference or a briefing in New York last Friday. Derek Bars says the audit found that New York blindly issues these non-domiciled CDLs with an 8-year expiration, yet long past when some of these drivers should lawfully be out of this country. We also uncovered numerous examples where New York relied on expired lawful presence documents to issue CDLs. They were already expired. Barr said the state must immediately pause the issuance of non-domiciled CDLs and commercial learners permits, a comprehensive audit of all the non-domiciled credentials that have been issued in the state. Also saying you must void, rescind, and reissue all licenses that were not issued in compliance with the federal law. And again, that's nearly 17,000 of them. I mean, look, a 53% failure rate, that's not acceptable. Barr said the FMCSA, we're not going to just look the other way. The DOT and the FMCSA are giving the state 30 days to comply with the federal order. If they refuse to come into compliance, we're going to pull tens of millions of federal funds from the state of New York. Enforcement of non-domiciled CDLs in New York, following similar crackdowns that have been initiated recently and are ongoing in California, Minnesota, as well as Washington State. Asked at the press conference if the audit's crackdowns are going to have an effect on the ability to get holiday packages delivered. Secretary Duffy said, we don't see this as impacting the ability to ship products across the country. Yeah, the main point is we're going to do this safely. He also emphasized the recent crackdowns are not due to a change in regulations. We actually have this problem because Joe Biden and Pete Buttigieg didn't enforce the law. Millions came into this country during their tenure when these rules were in place, and they just turned a blind eye. We saw the safety on our roadways diminish. Derek and I are going to enforce the law. We're going to hold the states accountable. We're going to make sure Americans are safe. President Trump gave us that directive, and that is the right directive, he says. All righty, final hour just ahead. Plenty of room at 844-844-3388.
Did you miss an episode of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive? Or just want to relive a little bit of the magic? Don't worry. You can download the Steve Summers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a single second of the show that was recently named one of the best late-night shows in America. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive so you don't miss a single episode. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive. Available wherever you get your podcasts or online at overnightdriveradio.com.
Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
Fuel additives.
most fuel additives either impact performance or provide protection. Hot Shot Secret Everyday Diesel Treatment provides both performance enhancement and fuel system protection. Everyday Diesel Treatment delivers a 6-in-1 premium fuel treatment for every fill-up, every time.
Everyday diesel treatment is available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at hotshotsecret.com.
We know being over the road isn't easy, but getting parts for your truck can be. Rainey's offers over 100,000 parts and accessories, from chrome to cab comforts, watermelon lights to necessary replacement parts. It's all available on our website. Got questions? Our team of experts has your back from start to finish with unmatched customer service you won't get anywhere else. Head to Rainey's.com to get $25 off any order over $250 with code DRIVE25 at checkout.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. One of the people killed in the terrorist attack in Sydney, Australia, has a connection with the state of California.
The man was the brother of the co-director of Shabbat of Bakersfield, Rabbi Shmuley Schlanger. Rabbi Eli Schlanger was among at least 15 people who were killed in the mass shooting at Bondi Beach on Sunday. Before he was shot, Schlanger was preparing for a menorah lighting ceremony to celebrate the start of Hanukkah. Australian authorities say the shooters were a father and son, one of whom was killed. I'm Daniel Martindale.
New York City Mayor-elect Zoran Mandani condemned the terror attack on an Australian Hanukkah celebration that occurred on Sunday.
At least 16 people were killed on a popular Sydney beach by 2 gunmen, with dozens of others left wounded. Mamdani said he mourns the victims and promised he would keep Jewish New Yorkers safe. Mamdani, a Muslim, has had strained relations with some members of the Jewish community during his campaign over his criticism of the Israeli government. John Sommers, USA Radio News.
Representative Nancy Pelosi says she does not support another impeachment of President Donald Trump, calling it a serious step that requires clear cause. While sharply criticizing Trump, Pelosi says Democrats should instead focus on winning back the House in 2026 and preparing for the 2028 presidential race. The Department of Veterans Affairs plans to eliminate up to 35,000 healthcare positions this month, mostly unfilled jobs, as part of a major workforce reorganization. VA leaders say the cuts will not affect patient care, but staff and unions warn the move could worsen staffing shortages and lengthen wait times for veterans. Wall Street closed lower.
At the closing bell, the Dow Jones lost 41 points. The S&P 500 fell 11 points, and the Nasdaq dropped 137 points. I'm Sarah Lee Kessler.
From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
Commerce moves fast. Your business should too. If you're not on the first page of search results, you're losing customers. Out of sight, out of mind is true. Don't let that be you. iLocal.net has helped local businesses dominate search results since 2009. For a limited time, iLocal.net is offering a free website analysis to improve the online presence of your business. Local business owners across the U.S. turn to iLocal.net to improve their search engine rankings. Search engines are constantly changing their algorithms. You need the professionals who know how to use those changes to benefit your business. Don't hope for new customers. Get found and be chosen. Call 888-699-2407 for your free website analysis. Don't wait. Call 888-699-2407. That's 888-699-2407. For your free website analysis, call 888-699-2407.
An Everett, Washington man who used a pipe bomb to blow up a black couple's car has been sentenced to federal prison.
The incident happened last December. The victims told police the day after a pipe bomb damaged their car. Stephen Goldstein left a message on their phone using racial slurs and gloating about the bombing. Video surveillance recorded the suspect planning the bomb, and police found similar clothing in Goldstein's home. They also found 700 rounds of illegal ammunition. Goldstein pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 5 years in federal prison. I'm Brad Ford.
A destructive insect threatening livestock is moving north through Mexico into Texas. The mealy bug can devastate grazing pastures and has prompted warnings from state officials.
It originated in Australia, pretty much devastated the eastern side of Australia. We haven't had it here before.
Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller says the state is working with the USDA to secure an emergency use pesticide to protect farmers and ranchers. Merriam-Webster is selecting the word slop as the 2025 word of the year.
According to Merriam-Webster, the term slop originally referred to soft mud in the 1700s and later evolved to mean food waste and rubbish. However, in 2025, it's come to be defined as digital content of low quality that is produced usually in quantity by means of artificial intelligence. The pick for word of the year is based on a significant increase in searches, and the dictionary's editors chose it to reflect the year's trends and events. I'm Matt Mattinson.
And I'm Anthony Lucero, USA Radio News.
What if the music stopped? If the familiar voices were silenced? If there were no breaking news updates? What if your companion and connection to your community came with a monthly fee? Don't worry, we're free local radio with you wherever you go, celebrating 100 years and looking forward to the next 100. We are broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on your local radio stations. By the National Association of Broadcasters.
Have you been searching far and wide, looking to advertise your business on a brand that will help you reach the very clients you want to walk through your front door? Well, you know they've done studies that 100% of the time, it works every time. We're talking about the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. Let us go to work for your business. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive currently broadcasts in radio markets all over the United States and was recently named one of the top 50 best late-night shows and podcasts in America. Advertising on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive will maximize your ability to reach clients both on the air and through podcasting. Consider it the best of both worlds. Don't miss this chance to put your business on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive and expand your reach immediately. Before we go, I've got one question to ask you. Are you ready to get started? If so, email me, Ryan Wild at lubricationspecialties.com, and get started showing off your business today on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
The Overnight Drive with Steve Sommers. Live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios. Call Steve now. 844-844-3388. That's 844-844-3388.
Get that final hour underway. And away we go. Here on a Tuesday morning. Hope your week's off to a good start. All right, the year is rapidly drawing to a close. A busy close as the trucking industry rushes to move freight during the holiday peak retail season. For carriers, the year isn't quite over yet, but the industry can begin reviewing their performance this year. Interesting breakdown from FreightWaves this past day says new data highlights persistent safety challenges in the trucking industry. An analysis of the FMCSA records reveals stark differences in crash rates among motor carriers, with mid-size fleets showing significantly higher incident rates per driver compared, they say, to larger operators. FreightWaves and a data partner have analyzed the FMCSA crash data to discover the carriers with the highest number of crashes year to date, which would be as of November 30th. Highest number of crashes per driver. The FMCSA maintains the Motor Carrier Management Information System, a comprehensive database that includes crash data uploaded by states based on police accident reports. States electronically transmit details from police reports on crashes involving commercial vehicles that result in fatalities, injuries, or towaways. It's been in place for decades as part of the FMCSA safety oversight, with public data access enhanced through tools like the Safety Measurement System and the Analysis and Information online portals. Crash information originates directly from state police reports. Law enforcement officers at the scene record details, which are then forwarded to the state agencies and uploaded to the FMCSA if they meet certain criteria, for example, a vehicle that required towing away. However, data integrity is a concern. Underreporting rates can reach as much as 30 to 40%, varying by state, and not all crashes are captured uniformly. Plus, driver counts used for normalization comes from carriers' biennial MCS 150 updates. If a carrier reports an outdated or lower driver count than their actual fleet size, their crash rate, calculated as year-to-date crashes divided by the number of drivers, can actually appear artificially inflated. Those lists also include fatalities attributed to the incidents and the trucking carrier was involved in. It's important to note that these fatalities, like the crashes themselves, do not represent information about culpability or preventability. All crashes and fatalities the motor carrier was involved in are included, regardless of whose fault they were. So analyzing carriers' crash rate metric provides us with frequency data, crashes year-to-date per driver expressed as a percentage. The list focuses on carriers with at least 250 drivers, split into large, a.k.a. 500 drivers, or mid-size, 250 to 500 driver categories. Among carriers with more than 500 drivers, the highest crash rates hover around 5 to 6%. Leading the list is mobility and personal transportation provider Transdev Services Incorporated, 930 drivers and a 6.56% rate. 61 crashes year to date, including one fatality. These are companies that are kind of topping the list. Western Express Incorporated, an enterprise truckload carrier out of Nashville, 4,390 drivers, posting a 6.15% rate, 270 crashes, and 4 fatalities. Other notable large carriers include West Side Transport, 5.83%, 2 fatalities. Cadence Premier Cargo Incorporated, 5.56%, and the waste hauler MR Bults Incorporated, BULTS. Crash rates taper off to around 4.9% for carriers like Pascal Truck Lines, Decker Truck Lines. These figures, while concerning, pale in comparison to the mid-size carriers, they say, those that have somewhere between 250 and 500 drivers. Here, crash rates soar above 7%, some exceed 11%. Topping the group, AD Express Trucking, LLC, 278 drivers and an alarming 11.87% rate, 33 crashes year to date, including 1 fatality. Hogan Truck Leasing follows at 9.85%, 32 crashes, 1 fatality. Next is HMD Trucking at 9.8%, 5%, 27 crashes. Rates remain elevated for carriers like Nova Lines, Martian Express Company, Logan Bus Company Incorporated. The disparity underscores a trend, a clear trend. Mid-sized carriers are far more likely to be in a crash by this metric than their larger counterparts. Large fleets, often with more resources for safety programs, training and compliance, not to mention safety technology on the tractor itself, exhibit significantly lower per-driver crash rates. Mid-size operations may face greater challenges in scaling safety infrastructure, maybe leading to higher incident rates. The CSA program uses the safety measurement system to prioritize carriers for intervention. CSA scores calculated across 7 behavior analysis and safety improvement categories, drawing from 2 years of roadside inspections, investigations, and state-reported crashes. Violations and crashes are weighted by severity, time, and normalized by exposure. We've shared in the past, the trucking industry desperately needs better crash data integration in the system. Right now, the CSA's reliance on inspection violations can actually be gamed, while objective crash outcomes like those in the MCMIS are underutilized publicly. The piece calls for reinstating preventable crash rates in public-facing scores. While the raw crash counts have risen with industry growth, the per-driver rates offer a more normalized view into safety performance. So ultimately, incorporating refined crash metrics publicly may drive broader accountability and safer highways, but even listing off some of the names topping the list based on the number of drivers, crashes. It is 844-844-3388. Well, good morning to the blind man.
Hey, good morning, Steve. Oh, I'm so glad we're going to have a warming trend starting today. It's been absolutely frigid here in the metropolitan D.C. area. I think right now it may be 25 degrees or something. The other day was down to 14. There's still snow on the ground, so I'm thankful that I don't have to go anywhere. I can stay inside and keep nice and warm. If I could talk to Santa Claus, I'd like to have him bring me a girlfriend. I would be good to her, of course. I'm a gentleman, old-fashioned type of man. When I was dating my girlfriend at the time, I would pay if we went out to lunch or something. Stuff like that, like a man is supposed to do. One of my neighbors was telling me that she dated some guy and he insisted that she pay for the lunch. And I said, that's kind of rude in a way. Anyhow, I'm hanging in there, and I'm hoping 2026 will be a better year. I have a medical issue to deal with, the damage caused by the radiation seeds, and hope to get corrective surgery done, and I can be more active later on and circulate, so to speak.
Well, that'll be making progress in the right direction, hopefully, right?
Yes, exactly. And I just want to say hi to everybody out there. Heatwave introduced me to Plowboy, and I had a good time talking to him, and I enjoy your show. I was calling a local radio station talk show, and I snuck your show in just for the fun of it. And then the guy didn't seem to be interested, and went to the next call.
Yeah. Well,
But I'm so thankful that you're out there, and I can tune in when I wake up and hear all the truckers, and hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and gets what they wish for. And I guess that's it for me today. Just wanted to say hi and tell you what's going on. I don't know what I'm going to do for Christmas yet. Neighbor that usually invites me over, her family, I guess, is going out of town, so I'll probably be here with me, myself, and I.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, be in touch with us, though. Don't be a stranger there, blind man. Good to have you on board. Hey, a quick time out, and we return the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
Have you been searching far and wide, looking to advertise your business on a brand that will help you reach the very clients you want to walk through your front door? Well, you know they've done studies that 100% of the time, it works every time. We're talking about the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. Let us go to work for your business. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive currently broadcasts in radio markets all over the United States and was recently named one of the top 50 best late-night shows and podcasts in America. Advertising on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive will maximize your ability to reach clients both on the air and through podcasting. Consider it the best of both worlds. Don't miss this chance to put your business on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive and expand your reach immediately. Before we go, I've got one question to ask you. Are you ready to get started? If so, email me, Ryan Wild at lubricationspecialties.com, and get started showing off your business today on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
It's no secret, today's diesel isn't as good as it should be. Diesel lacks lubricity. That can lead to fuel system failure, costing thousands in repairs. But you can prevent those issues with Hot Shot Secret products. Clean injectors, boost cetane, increase fuel economy while adding 4 times more lubricity than the leading competitor. Claims proven by real-world use and confirmed by third-party ASTM testing. Available nationwide at truck stops, farm and automotive stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
At TEL, we know what it takes to succeed as an owner-operator because we were founded by one. The big secret? Affordable new trucks. New equipment keeps you moving, improves cash flow, and delivers reliability. For over 20 years, we've helped drivers take the next step in their careers. Call TEL at 866-404-6289 and use promo code OVERNIGHT100. We look forward to meeting you.
I see a lot of folks obviously sharing, offering their 2 cents on the president speaking out about Rob Reiner. Yeah, that whole post that he made on Truth Social. As this guy says, Mr. President, all you needed to say was basically the very first line and the very last line, which would have read, "A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. May Rob and Michelle rest in peace." That would have been it. Everything else in between about the Trump derangement syndrome. How Rob would drive people crazy, raging, his obsession about Trump and all that stuff. It wasn't necessary. He goes on to explain, let me scroll down here. James Woods, who is a very conservative, outspoken supporter of the president, he posted, he said, Rob, meaning Rob Reiner, and Rob and I remained good friends ever since we made Ghosts of Mississippi. The studio didn't think I was old enough to do the part, but Rob fought for me. Political differences never stood in the way of our love and respect for each other. I'm devastated by this terrible event. Another rare MAGA voice in Hollywood. One Rob Schneider, Dukes of Hazzard, said, "Human beings. Rob Reiner and his wife have been tragically killed today. I'm deeply saddened. Every life is sacred and given by God, our Creator, one of the most accomplished American directors who ever lived. His movies have been adored by generations. But I will..." How did he put it? He went on there. "I'll remember him most for making me laugh my guts out with my dad, watching the greatest American TV show of all time, All in the Family. I'll be praying for his friends and family that they may find solace and peace." Just be short, simple, to the point. Did the president step over the line once again? Sommers saying, this is exactly what the likes of the mainstream, the MSNBCs, the ABCs, and the trash-talking pundits, they're gonna be on this for days, which would mean significantly less coverage of, say, the Brown University shooting or the Bondi Beach shooting there in Australia. They're all going to be focused more and more on the orange man is bad. Continue that loop over. Why do you give them fuel for the fire? But I digress. Short and simple. I mean, we said at the time when obviously Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Did we not call out those that were, some were actually gleeful, dancing, happy. Oh, he got what was coming. Who's next? Those sort of things. How horrific that was. All right, let's get back to, see, Plowboy back on board here. Welcome back, Plowboy.
Good morning. Thanks again, Steve. Damn it. Steve, you just took the words out of my mouth. I mean, I'm sorry for what Trump did with Reiners. Ain't no damn different than Kimmel. I'm still a Trump supporter, but damn, Reiner was a hell of a director. I mean, like you just said, hell, I remember when my family and my dad, and hell, we'd all sit there and watch All in the Family, and their meathead would go to that damn sandwich, and him and Archie would get in a hell of a fight. And I mean, just laughed our asses off. But no, what he could have said was, look, he could have even said something, left the Trump derangement syndrome out of it. That, well, he probably didn't vote for me. He just laughed and may they rest in peace.
Yeah.
Nobody would say a word. But Steve, you were talking about these wrecks and the different sizes of the companies. Just going to juggle the fact that is not Hogan probably going to be one of the biggest ones in the? Has he not topped all of them with that merger that they just had? Because there's all sorts of Class 6, Class 7, and Class 8 trucks in that mess. Because you just the other night you said that they went with somebody that had everything from every aspect of vehicle to like Class 1 all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just wondering how that's going to roll around with that. But it just, I don't know. I'd just like to see how some of this. I wish some of these would really talk like, you remember back here, they keep touting all this electronic crap. Remember what Double R was having with all that crap that was on that truck that him and Anita was driving. I think some of it is actually causing more problems than it's good. I know I'm beating a dead horse, but I keep hearing that, well, they had more technology. Technology is not what's needed. It's just better training and better drivers in the seat. But other than that, I don't know. Just I get so damn tired of everybody's getting analyzed to the one side of the ticket, and it basically just comes down to know-how and Was there anything about ages in the drivers in them companies?
Nothing. No.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
Because almost you got a young driver and you got, them like myself and about ready to get out of it.
And you can't help but wonder. I mean, I'd love to know how many non-domiciled were in the mix there. How many visa drivers were in the mix. And those are the things that I think might tell a true tale.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now, what was it? A couple of months ago, we were talking about all of them basically living in one damn post office box, one building down there in Dallas.
Yep.
How many of them are all tied together? Whether they're ones and twos or were they considered 200?
All righty. Well, thank you much, Plowboy. Thanks for dialing us back up. That's perfect timing because we're right up against the news break. It's 844-844-3388.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. One of the people killed in the terrorist attack in Sydney, Australia, has a connection with the state of California.
The man was the brother of the co-director of Shabbat of Bakersfield, Rabbi Shmuley Schlanger. Rabbi Eli Schlanger was among at least 15 people who were killed in the mass shooting at Bondi Beach on Sunday. Before he was shot, Schlanger was preparing for a menorah lighting ceremony to celebrate the start of Hanukkah. Australian authorities say the shooters were a father and son, one of whom was killed. I'm Daniel Martindale.
New York City Mayor-elect Zoran Mandani condemned the terror attack on an Australian Hanukkah celebration that occurred on Sunday.
At least 16 people were killed on a popular Sydney beach by two gunmen, with dozens of others left wounded. Mamdani said he mourns the victims and promised he would keep Jewish New Yorkers safe. Mamdani, a Muslim, has had strained relations with some members of the Jewish community during his campaign over his criticism of the Israeli government. John Sommers, USA Radio News.
From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care, and here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join Medi-Share and save even more than usual. For many families, joining Medi-Share means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. More than 1 million people are part of healthcare sharing now because it just makes so much sense right now. And Medi-Share is the gold standard. Members like it a lot. We know this from member surveys. Medi-Share has been around for over 30 years. It is a proven thing. And if you join before December 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save $100 right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline's December 15th. Call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. It's 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40.
Did you miss an episode of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive? Or just want to relive a little bit of the magic? Don't worry. You can download the Steve Summers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a single second of the show that was recently named one of the best late-night shows in America. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive so you don't miss a single episode. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive. Available wherever you get your podcasts or online at overnightdriveradio.com.
Truckers, meet the SpeedMax Pro Max, the tire built for serious hauls and serious peace of mind. With rugged construction and performance you can count on, Pro Max is made for the long road ahead. And here's the best part. It comes with an 8-year warranty. That's right, 8 years of confidence, mile after mile. Ask SpeedMax. Drive far. Drive strong. For more info, call 860-436-4100 or buy online at digitire.com. Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
Like the men and women who power America, the people at Hot Shot Secret work hard and play harder. We're the fastest growing diesel and oil additive brand in the country. We solve problems. We protect engines. We save you money. and more importantly, time. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Have you been searching far and wide, looking to advertise your business on a brand that will help you reach the very clients you want to walk through your front door? Well, you know they've done studies that 100% of the time, it works every time. We're talking about the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. Let us go to work for your business. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive currently broadcasts in radio markets all over the United States and was recently named one of the top 50 best late night shows and podcasts in America. Advertising on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive will maximize your ability to reach clients both on the air and through podcasting. Consider it the best of both worlds. Don't miss this chance to put your business on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive and expand your reach immediately. Before we go, I've got one question to ask you. Are you ready to get started? If so, email me, Ryan Wild at lubricationspecialties.com, and get started showing off your business today on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
Keep the bugs off your glass and the smokies off your ass. This is the Overnight Drive with Steve Sommers.
They tell us in the NFL it was another weekend of brutal hits, injuries that could be career-ending. Yeah, we'll start with the Kansas City Chiefs. Of course, they had very dim hopes of making the playoffs, and yeah, those hopes were totally extinguished when Patrick Mahomes went down. As soon as Mahomes was writhing on the ground, grabbing his knee late in the fourth quarter, it was pretty clear he sustained a serious injury. And just a few hours after the game, which ended in a loss, eliminating the Chiefs from postseason contention, the team said it was a torn knee ligament. As it turns out, that wasn't the only instance over the weekend when the balance of power in the NFL was suddenly tilted by a major injury to a superstar. Not long afterward, one of the game's top defensive players succumbed to the same injury when the Green Bay Packers pass rusher Micah Parsons went down in a loss to the Broncos. Also Sunday, the Los Angeles Rams receiver Davante Adams, who leads the NFL in receiving touchdowns, came up limping with what appears to be a significant hamstring injury. For the Rams and Packers, two of the favorites in the NFC, this turn of events immediately complicates their path to the Super Bowl. Now, in Kansas City, Mahomes' injury not only ended Kansas City's hopes of making it that far, it also presents a potential problem for next season because of the recovery time from a severe knee injury. Mahomes, via social media, says, "I don't know why this had to happen, but I will be back stronger than ever." The major question, though, when will he be back? At the time of the injury, he was scrambling to save Kansas City's season, literally. Down 16-13, they needed the win to stay alive. He had marched the offense onto the L.A. side of the field. That's when he rolled out to the right, threw an incomplete pass before getting tackled from behind. Didn't take long for Kansas City to confirm he had torn his anterior cruciate ligament, the ACL. 5 snaps later, the backup Gardner Minshew threw an interception, sealing their loss. So, that's the end of 10 consecutive playoff berths for the Chiefs. So with no postseason to contend with, they're going to try to turn the focus on getting him ready for the beginning of next year, if that's even possible. I mean, it could take additional time for him to return to full strength. That's especially important when you've got a passer who thrives on making plays with his legs, like Mahomes. The Packers could have that same concern for Parsons. If it's confirmed that he suffered the same fate as Mahomes, but for a team that still has a legitimate chance at the Super Bowl, Green Bay also has to worry about trying to get through the playoffs without their defensive linchpin. The differences a day can make on any given Sunday or Monday. And Eagle, are you hanging with us?
Yeah, I'm still here. I want to talk about sports right quick, Steve. As we get close to the Friday, couple of these playoff games. Friday night to see who play on Friday. I forgot. Let me see the teams that get together on Friday. I can't. I think I just had the teams in my head. I forgot already. But yeah, that should be a pretty decent game on Friday night. And then the Saturday they got 2 or 3 games going in the first round of the playoffs. So it should be pretty interesting. I don't know. See how these people that pick the teams, they probably hoping that these games are a little bit closer. Either these other teams, James Madison and Tulane, pull an upset, because a lot of people are very disappointed that those two teams are in the playoffs. So we'll see how they show up and play. In both of those games, if they go on to win, then maybe they'll show that they deserve to be there. So it'll be very good. But as far as the NFL goes, Steve, I looked at the game, the Cincinnati game yesterday against Baltimore. Wasn't a good deal. But Cincinnati didn't show up yesterday. I don't know what happened, but yeah, it was real cold. I didn't know it was that cold in Cincinnati until I seen the ball game. So yeah, it's still pretty cold up in Cincinnati where you at. But Cincinnati, Joe Burrow, he didn't have a good day, but like I said, a lot of people said that he should have just sat out the last 4 games, but he wants to play, but you don't want to see the guy get hurt again before the new season starts. So hopefully he'll make it these next 3 games. But from what I've been seeing all year long in the NFL, it looks like the best team in football, as much as I hate to say it. I thought it was New England. I thought it was New England, but it looked like the best team in football now might be the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo, because Kansas City is out. They lost their quarterback, Pat Mahomes. He's out for the rest of the year. He tore his knee ligament. So Kansas City won't be in the Super Bowl this year. So Buffalo, this is their best chance to get into the Super Bowl now that Kansas City is out. So we'll see what happens with those 2 ball games this weekend. They got some good games going this weekend too. And on Christmas Day, they got 3 games on Christmas, so they give people something to do while they're at home. You got 3 ball games going. Hey, I wanted to ask you something else right quick, Steve, about where it concerns the truck driving deal. Have you heard anything about if they go that what you was talking about last week on these speed limiters? When that's supposed to take place, if they go have a vote on that, or when they go try to make a move on the speed limiters on the trucks. Have you heard anything about that?
I don't think they're going to move on the speed limiters. Were you talking about where they're going to have the listening session? Which I think is that today?
Yeah.
That might be today, the listening session.
Yeah, that's the reason why I was asking. I thought you said it might be the day tomorrow, what the day that we have right now. That's why I was asking. I didn't know if they had canceled it or if they, had made other plans or something. So, yeah, maybe tonight, if they get some news, we talk about that tonight.
Right.
When I call back in and see what they got to say about that, because I'm interested in what they're going to do about the speed of the truck. So, yeah, I'll talk to you. I'll give you a call tonight and see what they got to say about that. And I thank you for taking my call.
All righty, Eagle. Thank you much. I'm trying to remember if it's that Tuesday or Wednesday. I had to Go back to the archives and get the rest on that. Meanwhile, 6 more states reaching agreements with the Trump administration to prohibit the use of food stamps or what they call SNAP benefits to buy junk food, extending a growing nationwide effort to steer the taxpayer-funded assistance toward more sensible choices. The new waivers were announced by the Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins last week, who said this aligns with the president's Make America Healthy Again agenda. We now have Hawaii, Missouri, North Dakota, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia joining the 12 states that had already adopted similar restrictions. Rollins says we all know we're at the point where we have to do something to correct the chronic health problems Americans face. Under the new terms, states can block SNAP purchases of items categorized as non-nutritious, things like soda, energy drinks, sugary juices, prepared desserts, and candy. Now, the exact definitions are going to vary from state to state, but most of those changes will indeed take effect January 1. As those 6 documents were signed by Secretary Rollins, Secretary, she would attest there is a lot of interest in this. According to the Department of Agriculture, the waivers are intended to ensure federal nutrition assistance actually leads to better health outcomes. SNAP serves roughly 42 million Americans monthly, about 12% of the population. So junk food's going to be off the list if it's not nutritional. Okay, so how many more states will join in on that? We'll get a quick time out. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
When it comes to horsepower, there is nothing that compares to the modifieds. Multi-engine monsters with 30.5-inch tires and wheel speeds going well over 150 miles per hour. It's time to relive the master of the monsters. From the NTPA offices in Marion, Ohio, this is the NTPA Overnight Report. I'm Greg Hunter. The multi-engine monsters are crowd favorites, and for good reason. They look amazing, they sound amazing, they are amazing. With 14 tractors aiming for the Grand National title in 2025, there were a lot of popular names on the 11-pole schedule. These tractors have at least 3 big blocks burning alcohol down the track. With each engine burning about 5 gallons of fuel in 300 feet, these machines make well in excess of 10,000 horsepower. 2025 was a season to remember for Brandon Simon and his mod Simon Says. With only 1 rainout on the schedule in Toma, Brandon had 6 wins in the 10 points hooks that happened in 2025. Winning at the second night in Hutchinson, the only hook in Toma, the first pole in Rockwell, the 4th session in Bowling Green, and the 2nd session in Sandwich, Illinois. And at the Enderley pull-off, well, there was little doubt he would get the title. He took home a 3rd place in the 2nd session in Rockwell. To keep him on the podium, he struggled a bit in Hutchinson on night 1 and in Sandwich during session 3, getting 8th on those 2 events. Then, during the 3rd in Poletown, he struggled with only an 11th place finish. After the first hook of the season, Brandon was sitting in 8th in the points. After winning night 2, he moved up in the Grand National points to 4th, as the hauler set the GPS to Toma. With the rainout for night 1 in Toma, Simon Says took the win on night 2, and then the next hook in Rockwell. That moved him into 1st place, and he never looked back. Night 2 in Rockwell was a 3rd, and even with the 11th place finish in Bowling Green, Brandon had built up a big enough lead to stay in the points lead. Then, back-to-back wins in Bowling Green and Sandwich had the trucking company owner in a prime position to take the title. After struggling during the 2nd hook in Sandwich, Brandon took home a win at the Enderley pull-off to lock up the 2025 title by 5 points. Coming in 2nd during the season was veteran puller Bill Leischner and his tractor he calls Dirt Slinger. Dylan Owens and Thorne finished 3rd in the points. In 4th was the combo of Jeff and Ricky Rose with Giddy Up. Tommy Owens and his Rambling Rose took 5th. In 6th was Steve Bunnage with Takes a Lickin'. 7th went to Doug Christensen with Rat Pack 4. In 8th spot, it was Les Corporal and Corporal Punishment. And 9th went to Matt Johnson and his Dirt Slinger 1X. Rounding out the top 10, Brett Berg and the Rink Seed Moneymaker. From the NTPA headquarters in Marion, Ohio, this has been the NTPA Overnight Report. I'm Greg Hunter. Remember, pull hard.
Did you miss an episode of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive? Or just want to relive a little bit of the magic? Don't worry. You can download the Steve Summers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a single second of the show that was recently named one of the best late night shows in America. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive so you don't miss a single episode. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive. Available wherever you get your podcasts or online at overnightdriveradio.com.
Truckers, meet the Speedmax Pro Max, the tire built for serious hauls and serious peace of mind. With rugged construction and performance you can count on, Pro Max is made for the long road ahead. And here's the best part. It comes with an 8-year warranty. That's right, 8 years of confidence, mile after mile. Ask Speedmax. Drive far. Drive strong. For more info, call 860-436-4100 or buy online at digitire.com. Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
Like the men and women who power America, the people at Hot Shot Secret work hard and play harder. We're the fastest growing diesel and oil additive brand in the country. We solve problems. We protect engines. We save you money. And more importantly, time. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Have you been searching far and wide, looking to advertise your business on a brand that will help you reach the very clients you want to walk through your front door? Well, you know they've done studies that 100% of the time, it works every time. We're talking about the Steve Summers Overnight Drive. Let us go to work for your business. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive currently broadcasts in radio markets all over the United States and was recently named one of the top 50 best late night shows and podcasts in America. Advertising on the Steve Summers Overnight Drive will maximize your ability to reach clients both on the air and through podcasting. Consider it the best of both worlds. Don't miss this chance to put your business on the Steve Summers Overnight Drive and expand your reach immediately. Before we go, I've got one question to ask you. Are you ready to get started? If so, email me, Ryan Wild at lubricationspecialties.com, and get started showing off your business today on the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
All right, Eagle, yes, you are correct. It is today. Organized by Kansas State University. It's going to be the what they call the Midwest Commercial Vehicle Safety Summit. And over the years, they've brought together hundreds government officials, university researchers, law enforcement agencies, insurance companies, nonprofits. But they don't typically see a large showing of actual truck drivers that know more than anyone about what's going on out there on the highways and byways to be behind the wheel. Louis Pugh says, if you can attend, please come. This is a chance for you to listen, ask questions, and give input to the DOT and others about the things that need to be done to truly improve safety out there. So again, that all kicks off here in just a few hours, as a matter of fact. 8:30 a.m. this morning, Tuesday, December 16. It kicks off with the FMCSA Administrator Derek Bars and the FMCSA Regional Field Administrator Winsome Lenfert. And then there's other scheduled speakers. So after the opening presentation with Bars and Lenfert, the summit will feature breakout sessions on various truck safety topics over the next 2 days, today and Wednesday. Again, if you missed it last week, some of the topics they will be discussing is the latest from the Truck Leasing Task Force, where they stand there. At some point, there was discussion about ultimately even maybe totally eliminating the lease purchase plans that have been in the thorn in the side of so many drivers over the years. Technology advancements to the commercial motor vehicle safety, drug and alcohol prevention, the trucking economy, other topics, automation, ways to prevent speeding, combating human trafficking, cargo theft, the impact of ELDs. OOIDA will be involved in several of those sessions. Todd Spencer, matter of fact, will be participating in a session called the Truck Leasing Task Force. They'll be discussing what they found, the impacts, and what the next steps are going to be. That's actually from 1 till 2:30 this afternoon. Todd was on that task force during the entire process. Let's see. He'll be joined by other task force members, Steve Vaselli and Steve Rush, discussing how these predatory lease purchase schemes negatively affect highway safety. Later on this afternoon, 3 to 4 p.m., OOIDA Foundation Director Andrew King will be participating in a panel entitled Economic Signals, Freight Flows, and Safety Outcomes. He and C.H. Robinson's Matt Leo talking about how economic pressures shape the decisions that carriers make and ultimately the safety outcomes. Louis Pugh will be there on Wednesday, 10:30 a.m., December 17. He'll be joined by several FMCSA officials for a session on fighting back. This is about cargo theft and fraud in the supply chain. He's going to give some insight into how freight fraud can cripple small trucking businesses, while the FMCSA's Ken Riddle and others share what the agency is actually doing about it. So that and so much more. Pulled up the actual event schedule here. They've got registration breakfast starting at like 7:30 this morning. Opening session 8:30 till 10. And it got all the speakers listed there, so it's going to be a busy, busy time. Meanwhile, a couple of moments left here. 5-7 was, I guess, giving his 2 cents on the president, and as I was kind of saying, his trying to interject himself into the middle of the Rob Reiner thing there. That wasn't necessary. He said the difference between a MAGA nut job and a MAGA fan is we don't always agree with President Trump, but we will not defend the indefensible. He said the president should apologize to the family there. Like I said, yeah, Rob Reiner is undeniably, he had a full-blown case of trunk derangement syndrome, but that had nothing to do whatsoever with his son's mental illness or the fact that he's no longer alive. Come on. And lastly, I don't think we've learned much of anything more in regards to the Brown University shooting, but all we do know is there are currently no suspects in custody. When the word came down there late Sunday evening that they were releasing that person of interest they had detained earlier that day, he said the wider Providence, Rhode Island community is not at risk from the release of that individual. Sometimes things change, he says. That's what these investigations are all about. There was some degree of evidence that pointed to this individual, but that had to be corroborated and confirmed. The police followed the evidence in releasing the person of interest. We did our thorough investigation, ended up drafting some search warrants and came up with some evidence, but we did not have enough, obviously, to be able to prosecute anybody. So this individual was released. All the time we have here on a Tuesday morning. Thanks for being with us. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
You'll never guess the places that I've been. You never guess the places that I've been. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. I'm never gonna let the day begin. Never gonna let the day begin. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. Oh, don't wake me up before you go, and I'll just make this bed my home. Oh, darling, please just let me sleep. Give me my dreams. Better from above. Nothing's ever as it seems, yeah, except in that world that I dream of. Never gonna lose the ones I love. Never gonna lose the ones I love. 'Cause everything is like a dream,